All right, because it's Sunday, and yes, I know the Oscars are going on, but I frankly do not care. I saw what I need to saw. Shout out to Kobe Bryant, winning that Oscar for Dear Basketball. A very good short film. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, I decided, you know what? Why not just come on, talk about some pro wrestling here on the channel. I was trying to get people, like TNA fans, and if you are a TNA fan and you want to come on and debate TNA with me, let's do it. I'm totally down, because you guys should know what happened. Eddie Edwards got hit with the baseball bat by Sami Callihan. I attacked it, and a bunch of TNA fans got mad because I decided to throw a joke in there about, you know, TNA doesn't pay their guys. Look, I'm a person that likes to have a sense of humor when it comes to pro wrestling. Don't take pro wrestling all that seriously. I have fun with it. You know, I may rant about it, but it's more for fun. But Impact fans, a lot of them don't understand sense of humor. They're very defensive when it comes to TNA, which is fine. I get it. You love what you love. You defend what you love. But in all honesty, I was just like, whatever with it. I said, okay. And it's funny, you know, TNA fans, they'll come at me on Twitter. They'll tweet me all this stuff, all these long paragraphs. And then I say, hey, this is good shit. Why don't we get this on the channel and we can talk about it or something? Man, they are quiet as hell when I try to invite them on the channel. I don't see any other TNA fans coming on the channel, wanting to talk to me, wanting to defend Impact Wrestling, wanting to defend that dumb spot that Eddie Edwards did. Like I don't see it. I don't see these fans coming on and defending it. So, like, for me personally, I'm like, whatever. It is what it is, as Max Holloway would say in the UFC. So, if there's any Impact Wrestling fans out there that would love to come on, talk about Impact Wrestling, let me know on Twitter. Let me know in the chat. Give me your Skype. We can come on and we can talk about some pro wrestling. That's what we could do. We could do that. So yeah, that's what we can do. But other than that, I'm thinking about just doing a random ass Q&A. I don't even know if this is reaching people. Probably people are just watching the Oscars. Who the fuck would watch me at this time right now? It's a random ass Sunday. I'm doing this during the Oscars, but like I said, I saw what I need to see. My boy Kobe, he won that. He won that, dude. Dear Basketball. Like I said, go watch that. Go watch Dear Basketball. And a lot of people who would think that I would try to get an easy buck out of this using the the good old OBE clip. Nope. Put my boy Lashley up there with all the belts, because that's my boy. Bobby Lashley's my boy, so I gotta show love and respect for my boy. Gotta show some heart with my boy with it right there. What's up, Steven? How's it going, my friend? Just doing a random ass Q&A on a Sunday and everything like that. Just having some fun here on YouTube. But yeah, to me personally, I don't know why TNA fans get defensive or Impact fans get defensive sometimes. I don't understand where it's like they can poke fun at WWE, they can make fun of it, they can make fun of Ring of Honor, they can make fun of New Japan, but heaven forbid you make fun of Impact Wrestling. And it's like, nah, son, like, don't do that. That's like the worst thing you could possibly do. Like, that's the worst thing on planet Earth. Like, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it, man. It's like such a weird line that Impact fans draw. Like, they literally always are like that. And it's like, you can't change their ways. They're always enabling the enabler. Now, I will say, Impact has done some good things. Canada has been probably the best move that they've done this whole year. With that business, with new ownership, they need to get out of the States. You know, a lot of people in the States just weren't caring about TNA all that much. They were just like, oh, dude, who cares? I'm not interested in this company right now. So it's good that they decided to move out of the States and go to Canada. That's good. I was happy when I saw that. I was like, that's good news for TNA or Impact Wrestling. Sorry that I call it TNA. It's just that they've had an identity known as TNA Wrestling for so long, and now it's like they're Impact Wrestling. Now I have to change that. What's up, Clayton Carl? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, so, yeah, Impact Wrestling fans, man. Sometimes y'all are wonderful creatures. Like, y'all bring up good entertainment. Y'all bring up good value. Y'all have some valid points sometimes. But at the same time, y'all need to get a sense of humor. Y'all need to stop getting mad and sensitive when people say something about your product. Because we're not saying negative things about the product. We're just joking around. Oh, but you're saying TNA has money issues. And I use my Alucard voice because that's the only voice I know for TNA fans. Because he's like the biggest TNA fan I know. What's up, John 15 HD? Yeah, so, I don't know, man. I just feel Impact Wrestling fans, they're just sensitive about a lot of stuff. Oh, well, you know, money and everything. Like, dude, we had, like, Jesse Neal say that he made more money as a Walmart greeter than he ever did in his time in TNA. We've had wrestlers talk about how their checks bounced or their checks weren't going through. We've had top guys not want to travel with TNA because they had to cut some travel expenses. I mean, honestly, man, how can you tell me that, like, oh, yeah, like, we can't poke fun at some of their jokes? And then, like, what I hate the most, too, is when you debate an Impact Wrestling fan, they always bring up WWE. They always have to go to the WWE route. They always go, oh, yeah, well, what about WWE? It's like, why are you bringing them up? Like, why? We're talking about Impact right now. What does WWE have to do with Impact Wrestling? Like, you bring up something about Impact, being like, oh, man, I didn't like how Impact used EC3. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, but I bet you if that was John Cena, you would have liked that. It's like, what does that have to do with the argument? Like what are you trying to prove here with your Impact stuff, man? Like, that's what I don't get. It's like, that's what I don't understand by some people. It's like, when you say one little thing about Impact, it's like you can't. And that's why I don't like talking about Impact, honestly. I would love to get Impact fans to come on the channel and, like, tell me what's wrong or what's great about Impact. Like, because I watch Impact and I think it's okay. Like, it's there. It's nothing special. Like, every time I see it, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm watching it. But yeah, honestly, when I saw that spot, I was like, dude, this shit's trash, man. You know? Yeah, Chris, that's how Impact fans think, man. Impact might be struggling, but look at WWE. It's like, why do you have to bring up WWE? I don't get it. And they always bring up WWE too. It's like, they don't bring up New Japan. They don't bring up Ring of Honor. They always bring up WWE. It's like, dude, yeah, no, WWE sucks. And then if like, especially too, it's funny, if you insult Impact or if you say something bad about Impact, people think you're a WWE fanboy. Like, they automatically say, oh, you're a WWE fanboy. You love WWE. You support WWE. You're a WWE fanboy. It's like, where do you get this logic from? How am I a WWE fanboy? Especially like with me, which I don't get, because if you look at 90% of my tweets, I make fun of WWE more than anything. like most of the guys that a lot of people like in WWE, I make fun of. Like, I make fun of Care Bear. I make fun of Finn Balor. I go Ken for Shinsuke. You know, like yeah, I like Reigns, but I don't say Reigns is the greatest, and I don't get mad when people in my chat are like, oh, Reigns sucks or anything like that. I try to say I disagree, but I don't try to make it seem like Reigns is the greatest. I know Reigns has his flaws. The big dog don't really talk that well on the mic, believe that. I like Rollins, and I make fun of Rollins. Where's my statue and everything like that. I just don't get it, man. Sometimes with Impact fans, and like I said too, man, I don't know why. It's like I ask these Impact fans, hey, come on the channel. Come on, let's talk. Nothing, man. Like, nothing. Like, I asked American Alucard. He's all messaging me and shit, and I'm like, hey, man. I was like, I'm here for a fun debate. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. And it's like, nothing. I offer him a debate on my channel. Nothing. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't get it, man. I honestly do not get Impact Wrestling fans, man. The reason they bring up WWE because it's the biggest show around the world, and it's stupid. Like, I compare DC/Marvel fans. You can like both. It's okay to choose them from both. Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, Alucard, what's your Skype? I'll add you on what's it called? Because I use XSplit now. I don't use Google Hangouts, so I'll add you on Skype, man. Just give me your Skype information. I'll add you on there, and we can talk. That's who Alucard is. He's a guy on the internet who doesn't lie for views. Obviously, Alucard, I'm not trying to get views out of it because I didn't use the what's it called? The picture, the main picture. What's it called? The Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards picture. I didn't use it. I just used my boy Lashley. So, you know, he has all three of the belts. That was like my favorite. One of my favorite things that TNA did recently in like the last 2 years. I love that shit, man. When Lashley was like dominating shit. That was fun, man. Yeah, the thumbnail. Yeah, that was the thumbnail. Like, I was like, man, what should I do for a random Q&A? I didn't want to use, like, because, like, honestly, I didn't want to use it because I was like, there's no point in using this thumbnail. Like, I'm not really talking about this subject. It's just supposed to be a random thumbnail. So I was just like, what's random? Oh yeah, Bobby Lashley with all 3 TNA titles because he's the boss. Yeah, so Alucard, what's your Skype? I'll add you on Skype and shit. Just get on Skype and then we can talk. You can debate your things on Impact Wrestling and stuff like that. Finally, man. Oh, you're having internet problems? I'm sorry, Blue Knight. Hopefully it picks us up. This should be fun. Alucard's a funny dude to debate. Chase versus Alucard 2? Question mark? This might be going down. It's going down for real. That Flow Rider song. Oh, so Alucard has to make a Skype. Alright, man. Do what you need to do, man. I'll still be on. Sounds like I'm in a rush to do anything. It's Sunday night. I did what everyone always says for me to do in my videos, even though it's already fucking I cleaned off the table finally. So for all these people that are like, oh, clean your room. There you go. Fuck, cleaned it. Does it make people happy that I put my shoes on the table or something and I have cleaning products in my hand? Like, Jesus, man. Like, that's the one thing I always get comments on. Clean your fucking room. Well, there you go. It's clean, dude. My laundry is not folded. And, well, it's folded. It's just not put away. And stuff like that, man. So, yeah. Yeah, but Alucard, whenever you get on Skype, just let me know. And then I'll call you up and we'll have a fun time. Yeah, Broken Hardys were fun stuff, man. Like, that was some fun stuff, man. Like, I'll admit, I didn't really like it at first. I didn't really get what they were trying to do with the Broken Hardys. But man, dude, I thought it was fun, dude. I thought the Broken Hardys were fun. But yeah, when they got to the other stuff, like when they were doing all like the Great War, that was good stuff. Honestly, I think one of my personal favorite TNA matches recently was JB and Joseph Park taking on what's it called? JB and Joseph Park taking on Scott Steiner and hey, dude, Josh Matthews. There we go. Drawing a blank on some names. You can tell it's a Sunday and everything like that. Yeah, so yeah, fire up the PS2. Yeah, Chase versus Alucard 2 might be happening, go boys. Might be, keyword MIGHT, might be, and stuff like that. So we might have a fun little debate here about Impact Wrestling and stuff like that. Like I said, man, I want to see how Schleg Daddy is doing with his video on the likes and dislikes. I was surprised, honestly, because like normally TNA fans, when they see a video they don't like, they hoard on and dislike that video. But he had like 48, like, yeah, dude, he only has like 5 dislikes on his video. Good on TNA fans not getting sensitive about that, man. Because I thought for sure, dude, like he would have gotten so much dislikes for that because like he put the Sami Callihan / Eddie Edwards spot was stupid. Man, I got so much hate from TNA fans on Twitter, or Impact fans on Twitter, about that, man. Like, I got so much hate. People were saying, yeah. Yeah, so while we wait for Alucard, y'all can ask any questions you want. Like, if you guys have any, like, specific questions that you guys have about wrestling, or just in general, y'all can just send them in. But, yeah, I just want to talk about Impact. Like, I just don't understand why fans can't have a sense of humor and why they can insult. Like, I don't get why it's like, oh, it's okay to insult WWE, but not other companies. That's what I don't get. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, go right ahead. Poke fun at WWE. But all the other companies, no, you can't do that. Like seriously, Ring of Honor, they had that goofy show in that Hammerstein yesterday. And then Adam Page was, like, on the top of the balcony. Stood there for, like, 2 minutes, being like, yeah. And then he did a moonsault. And, like, yeah, it was a cool spot. But, man, that looks so goofy and fake, dog. Like, I was just like, damn, dude. It was cool, but at the same time, it's like, if you're, like, not watching, it's like, ah. Trevor Lee is the X Division champ and probably always will be because he always has it. Trevor Lee is kind of like Douglas Williams back when like Williams was like champion in 09. It's like it's like all right, there's guys that we want to put the belt on, but like Trevor Lee is just a reliable hand. It's like, because the thing about Trevor Lee is like he's reliable. You know, you're not gonna get a bad match out of Trevor Lee. You know that he can deliver the goods. He can have great matches if given the time. But it's not like Trevor Lee is like going to like TNA Impact knows, hey, Trevor Lee is one of those guys that we've done a good job building around, and he's like one of those guys that are not going to fuck off on us. You know what I'm saying? So like they trust in Trevor Lee, you know? They feel like, oh yeah. Like there's times where it's like, I think he should have dropped the belt to like Desmond Xavier or something like that. But yeah, no, Trevor Lee's a solid talent. Like I'm not like blown away with him, but he's very solid talent indeed. That young man is. He's like Pete Dunne. In a way. He's kind of like Pete Dunne in a way. And then this is going to confirm my WWE fanboyship. Have a WWE cup that I bought at a WWE live event. TNA doesn't come to California, so I don't know. Yeah, Chris, I stopped watching the Oscars after that. I said, well, I saw what I need to see. That's all I cared about. I just want to see my boy Kobe win an Oscar, man. I was just like, man, that's all I want to see, man. Just want to see Kobe win a damn Oscar. I ain't asking for much. Yeah, I know, but seriously, that their basketball thing is like really good. You guys can see I'm doing a thing called stalling because I'm waiting for Alucard, brother. To jump on the scape to talk about some Impact Wrestling. What's a weirder thing that you guys seen? What's like the weirdest thing that you deal with the Impact fan, man? I think Impact fans are just so interesting, man. And I think Impact fans are so interesting with their stuff, man. Alright, let me go type in the little theme. Goofy wrestling stream. Because I don't know what else. A debate is coming. Is that what I should type? I don't know. As you can tell, I'm very excited. A debate is coming. Installing Scott? Alright, cool, man. Impact fans are loyal. Yeah, no, they're loyal, but sometimes they're loyal to a fault. Browns fans are not loyal to a fault. Browns fans, like, they're just loyal. They're loyal in misery, man. like Impact's not miserable. Like, the Browns, that's miserable, man. Like if you're a Browns fan, you're miserable. Because there's just nothing, really positive with the Browns. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really positive with the Browns. They're just like a bunch of goofs and everything like that. They're just like, oh yeah, we're the Cleveland Browns. We suck. And everything like that. Yeah, Browns are just terrible, man. And you know what grinds my gears, man? So I don't know if you guys know about that one linebacker from the quote-unquote national champs, the UCF Golden Knights, that Shaquem Griffith. I want to say that's Griffith, I think is his last name. I know his name is Shaquem. His brother plays in the NFL. But man, I'm tired of all these fans, dude. Like, just trying to put this dude down even more, being like, oh, he won't make it to the NFL because he has one hand and stuff. Like, man, dude's trying to live his dream. Stop. Like, I'm tired of when he does something at the combine or he does something cool at the combine. It's like such a cool story. I see a comment where it's like, too bad he won't make it in the pros and stuff like that. What video? What video can't you watch? What question did you ask? I didn't see your question, Blue Knight. I didn't see your question at all, to be honest. Any match I'm looking forward to at Fastlane, Chris? No. No, not really, honestly. Maybe the WWE title match, just to see what they're doing, man. Why does John Cena suck so much? I don't know, damn bones. Why is El Kukui gonna get his ass kicked on April, baby? El Kukui! Hey, man, I told people... Hey, what I say to people about T-City, man? What did I tell people about T-City? My boy, Brian Ortega. I said, don't sleep on him. I said he could beat Edgar. Everyone's like, oh, you're crazy, Chase. He knocked him out, man. That's crazy, too. That was Frankie's first ever loss, knockout loss, man. All right, Shane Scott, I'll look you up on Skype right now. How do I feel about saying Lamar Jackson should try it as wide? I can understand. I can understand, honestly, why people say that, but I think he's more of a quarterback than a wide receiver. I'm more Pumper 223, damn bones, hands down, man. Like, WrestleMania 34, they need to get, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back to wrestle or something for me to, like, get somewhat excited for that company, man. Because, like, honestly, man, like, how can you be excited for WrestleMania? Like, okay, 223 has El Kukui versus Khabib, a fight that, like, you know, a lot of fans have been waiting for the lightweight title. Plus, you know, there's going to be some Conor drama thrown in there somewhere. Then, as well with that, you also have Rose Namajunas versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So that shit's good too. Hey, Alucard, I'm looking for your name on Skype. It's not showing up. Can you just send me an invite on Skype? It's Chase Oliver 68. So I'll be back real quick, guys. I gotta go take care of my dogs. They barking like a storm right now. Alright guys, sorry about that. I always feel bad. But man, when my dogs start barking, that is insane. Like, I can't deal with that shit, dude. Yeah, I know, but 223, man. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm gonna have to go fucking watch NXT and 223 at the same time, man. Yeah, Alucard, can you add me on Skype, Chase Oliver 68? Because I'm searching Skype for your name and nothing's popping up, man. Unless you spelled it wrong. Let's see, Shay. Oh my god, now my dog's trying to get in my room, dude. I get annoyed with these dogs sometimes, man. She and Scott. Yeah, no, Alucard, there's no name like that on Skype. And stuff like that. So, you can add me on Skype, Chase Oliver 68, which is my Skype. And stuff like that. Brian Cage is pretty good, yeah. He's a very solid talent. I don't watch Walking Dead. I'm not a big fan of Walking Dead and everything like that. Honestly, I'm not. Luna, I think I saw your Sasha Banks. Oh, does the Sasha Banks wrestling bitch face annoy whenever she has it? Oh, yeah. No, anytime I see Sasha Banks with that wrestling bitch face where she knows she's going to lose. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just hate it, dude. I honestly just hate it, dude. Who wins between Frank Mir and Fedor? Dude, Fedor is just... You know the thing, dude, the thing about Fedor is this, man. Are you sending it to, like, because my Skype's Chase Oliver 68, Alucard. Like, I don't see no messages, man. Let me check messages. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool. So I'll accept this invitation, cool. Yeah, I don't know, because the thing is with Fedor, Fedor is like, Fedor is losing in, like, the funniest ways, man. So I think Frank Mir's going to win this. All right, guys, we're going to get American Alucard up in here. We're going to talk about some Impact.
Fedor is like
oh, shit, like, mute me. I don't want to hear myself again.
So I think Frank Mir's going to win this.
I don't want to hear myself talk too much. That's annoying.
Yeah, I turned my smartphone on.
All right, we have American Alucard, the guy on the internet who doesn't lie for views. He has that name because of Dave Meltzer, apparently. I don't know. Why do you have that name again?
The one now?
The guy on the internet who doesn't lie for views. Why do you have that name again?
Mainly because, you know, I just speak my mind.
All right, I'll do the same thing. So, but when I do it, I'm hating on everything apparently. So.
No, you're not hating on everything. It's just a little misconception, I would say, on certain things.
Misconception. Okay. So, anyways, American Alucard, big TNA fan, probably bigger than I am right now. I watch TNA on an occasion. You know,
I wouldn't say that either because up until now, this is the first Impact that I've watched. Up until now, other Impacts I've fallen asleep on and haven't really been too high up on. This is the first Impact that I've really sat up in my chair and said, "This was good."
Oh, I think every Impact as of late has just been decent to okay. to some good shows sprinkled here and there, or some good stuff. It's just more when you like watching. It's like, oh yeah, they're doing stuff with EC3, and then it's like, oh, I see EC3 is on WWE TV, so which means he's leaving, so which means I'm getting all this hype for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to kind of get hype for something when that's kind of the bummer when it comes down to it. Is Impact is taped way too far in advance, and that's something they need to fix. I thought that's something that they would fix since going to Canada, was that we were going to get a little bit more of live shows. It'd be a lot easier to tape. It wasn't the case, and stuff like that. I don't know why they still tape. I don't know if it's budget issues. I don't know. Maybe it's talent issues. Who knows? Maybe it's contract issues. But anyways, American Alucard, bigger TNA fan than I. It's time to talk about Impact Wrestling and everything like that. So, Alucard, I just want to know, how come it's okay to insult WWE and joke about WWE, but not TNA? I just want to know how come that's okay.
Well,
like, I want to know as a fan. I just want to know why is it okay for it's like, oh yeah, WWE is a bunch of steroid Magoo guys and stuff like that, or oh blah 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 this, blah 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 that about WWE, but we make a joke about Impact Wrestling like, oh their paychecks are late, and it's like, oh that's like the worst thing ever, where it's like, no, it's happened in the past. Yes, we can make fun of it. We're allowed to have a sense of humor on it. What's wrong with us making fun of TNA, but not WWE? WWE, okay? It's okay to bury, bash, make fun of WWE all you want, but Impact Wrestling, it's not okay. Why is it okay to do that to WWE?
Well, it's all in perspective because, you know, WWE, they're the biggest company, so they're going to have more jokes and everything toward them. Whereas Impact, the jokes just kind of get old. It's the same jokes. It's nothing new or original. It's nothing like okay, TNA's broke, but people been saying that since 2004. No matter who owns it, like either you're lying about them being broke or like something doesn't add up. Oh, a talent goes here, they suck, but once they go to WWE, they're cool again, thumbs up. That's I would say that's the problem. Like, there's no consistency or originality to the TNA joke. Yes, it's fun to joke, but when you keep doing the same joke over and over, how can I laugh at it? I mean, bring me something original to the table. I can think of plenty of new jokes to think about with TNA, but the IWC is so lazy with their jokes. It's just like, okay, TNA's broke, but they're owned by this new company that has money, but they're not spending it on it. So apparently they're not broke. So what joke? What kind of joke are you telling here? Like, the joke's old. The joke doesn't make any sense. I'm not laughing. That's how I feel about it.
But why is it that a bunch of TNA fans get defensive about it? Like, so you're saying if you bring up a WWE steroid joke, and if I don't think it's funny, but you think it's funny, is that okay? That's where it makes no sense to me, because I find it fun, because I always remember the tweet or the thing when they asked Jesse Neal, oh, how much money are you making at Walmart? He's like, oh, I'm making more as a Walmart greeter than I ever did at TNA. I thought that shit was hilarious. I started laughing my ass off, man. Like,
but then also you have to think about it. Jesse Neal, he was.
No, I'm just saying it was a funny joke. I just said I thought it was funny when he was saying that. Like,
it's decently funny, but it's like not funny because you got to think about Jesse Neal.
Oh
he was
dude.
Lower mid Carter, and at the time, he was getting no camera time. No camera time equals no money. And you're working at Walmart, no money versus a Walmart check. Of course, you're making more at Walmart compared to you not getting TV time and not working there. So,
but you know how bad that is when it's like Impact, especially at the time, was the #2 promotion, not just in America, but arguably in the world, because New Japan recently exploded again back in like 08, 09, around that time and stuff like that. So they weren't really like #2. In the world. They were like #1 in Japan, but they weren't #2 in the world. They were like #3 or #4 at best and everything like that. But that was a #2 promotion in the world, and you have someone saying that they're getting paid more at Walmart. You see how bad that looks, right? No matter what level the talent is.
Yeah, but in context.
Not in context. If you just said, hey, this guy is getting paid more at Walmart than the #2 wrestling promotion in the world, you tell someone that, what are they going to think? Don't give them context, just tell them that. What are people going to think? That's what you got to realize.
Okay, when you say it like that people would assume, hey, TNA's broke. But when you throw in that context, hey, had this guy worked at the company? When was the last time he worked at the company? oh, he hasn't been there a year. Obviously, why would you pay somebody something if he hasn't been there for a year? Obviously, you're going to make more at Walmart versus no paycheck. No paycheck, Walmart paycheck. Obviously, you're making more at Walmart. So that's why I didn't get the joke, because I hadn't seen the guy when he made that joke for like what, a year and a half, and he had been on television along with his tag team partner, which is a shame that didn't get the tag titles, but that's how the wrestling business is, and it's a shame that he didn't continue on in the Indies. I mean, I know he's restarted and he's doing great in the Indies, but at the time, I guess his heart wasn't in it. He fell back to Walmart, but it is what it is. To me, it wasn't funny because I knew the context behind it.
I knew the context too. I just thought it was hilarious how he said it. Like, I have a sense of humor. Maybe that's something that you don't get, but I have a sense of humor. I don't try to like look into everything about like that. That's why I make the joke. Because Sami Callihan, you can't deny, he walked into that joke. He walked into it saying, my bank account is rising and rising. And if people just know jokes about TNA, boom, you can just make that joke. There you go. So what's wrong with that?
But then again, Sami Callihan, he's not just...
No, but like, if you just know him from TNA, not from all his other shit that he does, it's kind of like...
It'll be impossible, though. That's impossible.
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people probably don't... A lot of people probably just know him as TNA guy. That's what I'm saying.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, because he's been on NXT, he's been on Ring of Honor, he's been on Indies, like, across the world.
Honestly, Sami Callihan did not start to get big until, like, I heard about him on NXT. Everyone's like, oh, Solomon Crow's going to be the next big thing, and he was just a boring piece of shit on there. And I still think he's a boring piece of shit, and that has not changed. So here's another thing. Here's another thing. Okay. How come when people debate TNA, like especially Impact Wrestling fans, why is it that WWE gets brought up when they have nothing to do with the discussion or the conversation? Like, if I'm just debating you Impact and stuff like that, why is it like, oh, well, if he was Solomon Crow, you would have liked that, even though it's like, oh. Or why is it that I get called a WWE fanboy when really, to be honest, I bash WWE more than I praise it. I make fun of WWE way more than I do TNA about a bunch of shit and stuff like that. A lot of the top wrestlers that people like, I make fun of, like Finn Balor. I bury the piece of shit all the time. So how am I a WWE fanboy? How am I a WWE fanboy or WWE sheep when clearly I make fun of WWE way more than I do TNA?
Well, I'm going to start with your first question about why people do that, bring up WWE stuff and with the TNA stuff. It's mainly due to people. The IWC, they do this all the time, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not. When a talent is in Impact, they bash them like, "Oh, they're garbage. Their matches are garbage." Blah 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 blah.
I disagree already,
but
because I disagree.
They go to WWE. They're the greatest person in the world. It goes without saying. I'll give you a perfect example. Just recently, EC3. A lot of people in the IWC or YWC, they bash EC3. He's garbage. He can't talk on the mic. He's a bad wrestler. They saw him in NXT, the last pay-per-view they had, and they're like, "Oh my God, EC3. He's in WWE. He's the greatest. He's one of the best wrestlers. I can't believe he went to Impact. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever." What the fuck? Like, just a week ago in the same same week, you were saying this guy was trash and he's not good. Like that's where people bring up that comparison. Like where you were saying, like, if he was Solomon Crow, you would think he was good and whatever. That's where people bring that. That's why people bring that up sometimes, because the YWC is so fickle. It seems like they only want the wrestlers that are good in WWE, and if they're not in there, they have to bash them to put down the other products.
I disagree with that, honestly.
Give me an example. Give me an example of a guy that went to WWE, came from WWE, went to TNA, and had a very good character and career in WWE that the internet didn't bash. They bashed Kurt Angle. They bashed Sting and Hogan. Granted, Hogan was a Gloria Hogan piece of shit, but they bashed them until they went back to their, to WWE.
I don't think anyone was bashing Drew Galloway. I think a lot of people thought Drew Galloway's run in TNA was really great. I think a lot of people also were praising Lashley. You guys, you know me.
It took time though. That took time. Like Lashley's first run in TNA was, granted, he wasn't booked well, and when he came back that second time, it took a while to watch that stink off of the first run, and then when he got the belt, people were still kind of not really willing to accept Lashley as this dominant headliner until like a couple months into his run and his second title run.
And I think honestly, EC3 benefited too, because a lot of people actually liked Derek Bateman. A lot of people were huge fans of his, and they were happy to see him actually get a rub and stuff like that. A lot of people said that EC3 was one of their better acts. So I totally disagree with you on that statement, because I think a lot of people just want to see their favorites back in WWE because they want to see them succeed on the big stage. But I don't think they think their runs in TNA are shitty. I still think Drew Galloway's best run was his time in the independents with ICW and TNA, and he was doing all that stuff. Like, his stuff on NXT is okay and solid, but I don't think I feel like he built his character and what we see now on TNA, now on NXT, because of TNA and because of the independents. So I don't see where you're saying like everyone would say, oh, they sucked in TNA and stuff like that. Like honestly though, like AJ Styles, even though he's had a short time in WWE, character-wise, not wrestler-wise, but as a character, his run in WWE, he's had better character than really in TNA. Because in TNA, he was like Christian's bitch. He was wearing chicken suits. He was always a goof. Like, besides his lone wolf character that he had, where he was beating up the Aces and Eights, and maybe some stuff with Daniels. He didn't really have that many good characters in TNA. But in WWE, he has better characters. Now, like I said, character-wise, not really looking at the wrestlers.
Character-wise, remember when he was the funny country guy? That was hilarious. I cracked up every time he was on screen.
I was indifferent towards it. I didn't like how he was hitting on Karen Angle and stuff like that. That was dumb. Like, that was just weird. But
no, I like when he was Christian Slack. He every time he was on screen, he always hit these funny ass sayings or something like that. Like he was playing off Christian. That had me. I just laughed. Like, I guess that was earlier when they went to TNA to change the name. But I laughed when it seemed like Christian and AJ had a chemistry of comedy.
Yeah, I personally was not really like a huge fan of it. Like, it was whatever towards me and stuff like that. But like, that's what I don't get, where it's like, so why is it that WWE always gets brought up in what's it called, in the discussion when it comes down to, like, if we're talking about a TNA storyline and a TNA feud, why is it WWE gets brought up still? That's kind of a question I'm still like lost on, because I don't understand why WWE gets brought up. Like, WWE has nothing to do with this discussion, and how come other promotions don't get brought up? How come Ring of Honor never gets brought up, or New Japan? Is it because a lot of TNA fans kind of know, like here's the thing. I don't know how TNA fans think. I like watching TNA. I am a fan of TNA, but to me, I don't think there's one great wrestling promotion. I just think all of them have their flaws. They have their good points. That's it. That's how I view all the wrestling promotions that I watch. I watch New Japan. I watch Impact. I watch WWE stuff. I think NXT, and this is an unpopular opinion on the YWC, I think NXT is the worst out of all the shows and stuff like that, which a lot of people wouldn't say. But yet people still call me...
television shows are bad.
People call me an E fanboy. So it makes no sense, but okay. I'm still an E fanboy, apparently, right? I'm still an E fanboy because I think NXT's bad, right? I'm an E fanboy, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, that's what a lot of TNA fans call me. That's what a lot of TNA.
NXT has horrible television shows. Along Ring, like I would put them in the same category as Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor has.
I don't watch Ring of Honor, so I'm not going to really say. I don't watch
it. Weekly Ring of Honor, it's a chore to watch, but their pay-per-views and their specials, they're excellent. Just like NXT, I can't watch their weekly shows because they're kind of trash can juice, but their pay-per-views or takeovers are things of beauty. Well, now they are. Now they are. When the first one that started up, they were Now they become something to watch.
So here's the thing. How come? Is it because Ring of Honor and New Japan don't get brought up? Is it because Impact Wrestling fans, just TNA fans, kind of understand that those promotions in terms of structure of what's popular in the IWC that they're better? Is that the reason why ROH and New Japan don't get brought up? Where it's WWE, you can make an argument that they're worse than Impact, even though I think both companies suck. That's just me.
Well, the reason is, let's just face facts here. ROH and New Japan, they're irrelevant to the situation. No matter how people feel about Impact, it's still the number 2 as far as America and as far as reach. WWE is way up here. It's up high. No debate about that. It's the number 1 company. But lower down the poll in the number 2 slot, it's TNA. TNA has been going through ups, downs, whatever, but it still has some growth to catch. It hasn't caught WWE, but it's making an effort. Whereas Ring of Honor and New Japan, you might well say they're the same company because they share the same talent, and ROH's roster is pretty much New Japan's roster. So whatever. They're in the 10 years that they've been around or whatever, they've been doing the same thing. They go to the same places. Yes, they make money at selling out those arenas, but it's the same arenas in the same time. I think the only expansion they've had in these 10 years is not, I wouldn't say Atlanta, because they came to Atlanta during El Generico. I think I saw an old clip of that. I can't even think of Las Vegas. Is that it? I think they come to Las Vegas now.
Yeah.
But they haven't expanded. They've got fireworks, but they have the same fireworks for every guy that comes out. So to say that they're on the level of TNA is preposterous. And the reason people bring up WWE and TNA in the same thing is because even though WWE is way up here, like I said, number 1, you're still comparing a high number 1 to a low number 2. So you can't compare TNA to Ring of Honor because TNA has better everything. No matter how you think, TNA's broke, they're still a more lucrative business, especially with new ownership compared to Ring of Honor. So comparing Ring of Honor to TNA it's no comparison. And you want to throw New Japan in there. New Japan doesn't have the reach that even Impact has on the United States. So that's an irrelevant point to even bring them up. So that's why people compare, in my opinion, WWE and TNA, and when they bring stuff up.
But how come it's always all the time? Where it's like, you say something like, oh, I didn't like the Sami Callihan spot. Well, if it happened on WWE Raw, you would love it. It's like, we're not talking about WWE, we're talking about Impact Wrestling. I'm just saying if it was happening in WWE, you would love it, fanboy. That's literally every Impact Wrestling fan that I talked to on Twitter this weekend. How come that gets brought up a lot?
I'll answer that. Because we've seen things like go on in WWE or TNA that would happen, like a wrestler using a move that considered dangerous. They'll use it in one company, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's bad. They shouldn't be using it." But if they use it in NXT or so, it's the greatest thing ever. It just seems like in the IWC, people don't want to hold WWE account. No, that's not. They don't want to place a finger of blame on WWE. They want to call out everything that TNA does. If it's controversial, is it something different? People have a problem with it, but they don't have a problem with it in WWE. The Sami Callihan spot. Sorry about that. Let's not act like Sami Callihan just now started doing things like this. Throughout his whole career, he's always done this.
This is why he's a trash wrestler. I think he's trash because he can't get over unless he does something stupid like this. He's trash. I'm sorry. He's trash.
I disagree. I like his style. I do.
It's trash. Then you like trash style. That's what I'm going to get out of it.
I like that hardcore style. I remember watching, before he went to NXT, he had his documentary they were doing on. He was like, look, people come here for stiff wrestling, and that's what the fuck I'm going to give them. That we said verbatim. I'm not doing pussy shit in the ring. I'm doing the stiff style. You can love it, or you can hate it. And I like the guy. He can talk on the mic. He gets his character across as this really mean, aggressive guy. And before he went to WWE, he always did this style. So and he's done dangerous spots like this in the past. So I wasn't even surprised when I saw his spot. I was like, "Yep, that's Sami Callihan. That's a guy that should be world champion. That's an evil son of a bitch. That's his character. Him versus Austin Aries. I can see that having down the line.
Sami Callihan for world title. You want your
that,
company to suck
as a heel.
Oh,
that's
God.
what that as a top heel. That just catapult him into top heel.
I don't think Sami Callihan's a world champion material guy. Mid card, grand champion. Well, I don't know where they're at in the spoilers, but grand champion, mid card type of guy, yeah. World champion guy, no. Sorry, he's just not that good. Very boring, not very that charismatic. Does too many reckless stuff that I could really care less for, in my personal opinion. I feel like he doesn't really transition well, and unlike guys like that can tell stories with hardcore matches, like you used to like Bram. At least Bram could tell a story in a hardcore match. Sami Callihan can barely tell a fucking story in a hardcore match. He's trash. He just does hardcore. He just does hardcore shit just for the sake of it. That's how I view Sami Callihan. Now there is a point that Heel Steven made that there's more demand for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like in the Long Beach area, that show sold out pretty fast. But like the Redemption show from Impact hasn't really been selling that well. That's back in the States as well. Are you sure that you want to say Impact is number 2?
Because
would you say New Japan's number 2 in the world?
I would say that because for one, they're sharing. If you look at New Japan's roster, it's just thrown together stuff from ROH. It's not really a full roster. New Japan's roster is Bullet Club. You got some stars in there, but most of the people in there are, It's nothing like Jay White. That's your U.S. champion. Kushida, he's good. I really love Kushida, but their stars are few and far between. And as far as them selling out in California, you got a lot of stars combined from 2 companies. You got the ROH people. You got Kenny Omega. You got Cody. It's a melting pot of the 2 companies. Of course, you're going to sell out.
Well, Omega's a New Japan guy. He's not an ROH guy.
Well, still they share.
But he barely wrestles in Ring of Honor. Like he only wrestles every once in a while. Like they're lucky that they got Omega for the WrestleMania weekend show against Cody. Like honestly. Because like New Japan has a lot of like I think you discredit New Japan a little bit because they have guys like Suzuki Gun. Those members are a lot of New Japan guys. Ingo Nobles de Japones. Most of them yes from Mexico, but Naito he's a New Japan guy. The Ace Tanahashi, Okada. I think Okada is a bigger star than most of the Impact Wrestling guys. Like a lot of people I know kind of know who Okada is and stuff like that. So I think Okada is a bigger star than a lot of Impact dudes. Would you agree with that or no? Because I think Okada's a huge star.
Yeah.
I think Omega overall is the biggest star from New Japan.
I don't get the Okada hype. I want to say yes to that, but me personally, I'm not an Okada fan because I don't see anything special. Yes, he has good matches, but he has a bland character compared to let's just say a Naito. Like he doesn't jump off the page to me. But that's just me.
Okada's character is like he's like a mob boss. He's the mob boss of chaos. Like he's the boss of chaos. He's the ultimate professional. Yes, he's kind of like Cena, but in a way, it's more of like I guess you have to kind of watch a lot of the press conference stuff to kind of understand Okada's gimmick and character. Like to understand that he's the man that runs the place and stuff like that. Like he's like Roman Reigns, but if Roman Reigns was actually booked well, that's how I would really look at it. Like if Reigns was actually booked well. That's what really Okada is. He's the big dog. He's the guy that, people want to beat. His character is right now that you want to beat Okada. Even though, yes, Okada has been beaten in the past, it was like he's learned from all those mistakes and he's learned how to become the ace. Well, he's not the ace yet. Like Tanahashi's still quote-unquote the ace. But he's learning how to be the ace of New Japan and that he's on a whole nother level right now when it comes to him being in ring and everything like that that it's just like it's hard for challengers to beat him. That's why he's on this 600-day title run. So that's why. But I would say Omega
after being undefeated for like 2 years. Like,
well, he's not undefeated.
I mean, not undefeated, but like he's held the belt for like close to 2 years, right?
Yeah, no, over 2 years, almost over 2 years. Yeah, this
what
is like six.
Fuck?
Yeah, 630 days, I think, right now.
That's insane. Like, wow. What? Like, I'm sorry. I do not. Maybe that's just me because I don't watch the press conferences and whatever. I haven't gone to try to find them. I just don't get Okada. I think Naito.
I think you have to watch Okada. Like, honestly, you have to just watch the whole journey. That's like the thing that, like, it's kind of like when people tell me you gotta watch Naito's journey to get his story. It's kind of the same thing with Okada. It's just that I feel people don't hate Okada as much because he puts on good matches as well. Yeah. But also, there is a better story. Like I said, Okada's the example if Roman Reigns was booked correctly. If Roman Reigns was booked correctly, he could be like Okada right now. Like, fans wouldn't hate him as much. It's just that Reigns is booked poorly. While Okada, there is sprinkles of good booking in there. Like, there is sprinkles of him failing and stuff like that. Like, Reigns doesn't really get any of those bookings where he fails. Like, WWE makes him fail on purpose, and then they try to make you feel sorry for him instead of like an organic feel sorry for, you know? Like, that's what WWE does with Okada. That's what WWE does with Reigns. They like to fuck him up and everything like that. But I think Okada and Omega are bigger stars than a lot of the Impact Wrestling roster, especially right now. I mean, because let's be real here. Impact Wrestling, they're rebuilding. They have to rebuild. Yeah. And I think they've got some good talents to rebuild. You know, Brian Cage is a nice steal. I wish they did more with fucking Moose. You know, I read the. Well, I don't read the spoilers because I don't try it because I want to try to get an organic. That's why when everyone's like, "Well, Jace, this happened 2 months ago. Why weren't you freaking out about it?" One, I don't read the spoilers. I like to kind of sit in there and watch it organically. I don't read NXT spoilers. I like watching shit organically. I've always been like that and stuff like that. There's no point in me reading the spoilers. And plus, the spoilers that come out for Impact are always out of order, so there's no point in reading the fucking spoilers. You know, there's no fucking point. I mean, yes, I'll know, like, oh, Aries won the title, but that's because, like, everyone shares that type of news. I can't avoid it. Sorry that I'm on Twitter. Like, I didn't know Impact was going to be filming on this random-ass Tuesday for their TV tapings, you know? Not my fault. But when it comes down to the Sami Callihan bump and what he did to Eddie Edwards, how come I think it's a dumb bump. I think it's a dumb spot. I think what Impact did was stupid with this one. And I just don't understand how this bump gets a pass, and people are saying, oh, if you're not Eddie Edwards, you shouldn't be mad at it. I'm mad because it makes wrestling look bad. It makes it look like we haven't evolved from the Attitude Era, that we still need to do stupid shit like this to get a reaction. Look, I'm not one of these fans that say, oh, we need the Attitude Era back. Because like that's what I hate when some fans are like, what's it called? That's what I hate when people say like, oh, what's it called? But Chase, do you like that? Yes, I liked the Attitude Era. Key word here, liked. It's not, I like the Attitude Era. I liked the Attitude Era. I want to see wrestling evolve. I want to see it do different stuff. You know, whether it's the Young Bucks doing that goofy flip shit, or Ricochet and Ospreay doing goofy shit stuff. Yeah, that's embarrassing, but at least it's kind of showing, hey, wrestling's somewhat evolving. This right here, it just shows that we're stuck in time. It looks bad. To me personally, it brings nothing to the table for Eddie Edwards. It does nothing for Sami Callihan's character other than the fact that he's quote-unquote psycho, which it's like, okay, how many more psychopath characters does TNA need? Why can't, seriously, why did he go Malcolm? He went like Malcolm X style onto Eddie Edwards' face. Like, did he burn down his house? Like, did Eddie Edwards burn down his house, fuck his girl or something? Like, why did he do that? Like, that's what I don't get. If Eddie Edwards did something fucked up, and then Sami Callihan did something like that, okay, I can kind of get it. But it's like Eddie Edwards was just, oh, I'm helping my boy Lashley out, or I'm gonna go attack you. Like, why do it so dirty like that? Why, just to prove you're a psycho? Like, no, that doesn't prove you're a psycho. It's just dumb.
Hold on, let me put this dog. Hold on.
That's fine.
Keep biting my ankles. All right. So the Sami Callihan spot. Yeah, I'm going to say this. It probably wasn't supposed to work out like that because if you look at it,
yeah, and I know Eddie messed up too. I'm just saying That's where Sami Callihan should have said, okay, I'm not going for the face. I'm going to go for the body and just hit the chair to make a noise. Because that would have caused more of an impact than what he did.
He was probably supposed to, like, hit off the chair and, like, hit the mat and be close to Eddie's face. And that's how the spot, and Eddie's supposed to sell it like, oh, I got hit in the face and Sami Callihan's, but he made a mistake and hit his face, which is horrible. You know, Eddie Edwards, great guy, great talent, and it sucks to have a wrestler injured. But then again, if Sami Callihan got on television now, this reality era or whatever, where people are connected through Twitter and so many social media, like if he didn't sell this character, it will pretty much kill his momentum and take eyes of the few eyes that are now focusing on Impact due to Sami Callihan hitting this spot. So he has to stay in character. He has to sell it that he's this evil bad guy that would do this horrible thing instead of doubling down and falling to pressure of, I apologize, I'm sorry, I love kittens. He can't do that. So I applaud him for sticking to his guns and staying in character. And then as far as it adding to the storyline, I feel bad for Eddie because he's what you would call the pawn in this story. And he probably wasn't supposed to get hurt this bad because the main story is between Callihan and Lashley. The story would be now Lashley's pissed. Even though he's beaten Callihan, now he has another reason to go after Callihan after he's hurt Lashley's rival / ally. And now with this being the way it is now, it adds to that tension of Lashley. He needs to get this revenge for his fallen ally or rival, whatever. So when they do have this blow-off match between Lashley and Callihan, which will happen, hopefully, I hope TNA isn't stupid enough to put this on a free pay-per-view. They extend this out.
Well, they have to do it on a free pay-per-view because Lashley's contract's done.
Oh my God! Oh,
he's already on his way to WWE, so he's already made a principal agreement. So it's happening on a free show. I can tell you that. I don't know when it's happening, but it's happening on a free show. That's why I'm saying like why the spot's kind of dumb, because we know it's not going to pay off ultimately at a big show. It's ultimately something that is just a waste. It's ultimately something that should not have happened, and it's an accident that really, to be honest, that could have been avoided, and it's a spot that could have been avoided ultimately, and it's a spot that I feel like professional wrestling doesn't need anymore. I feel like we're more evolved in pro wrestling where we don't need goofy spots like that, where we don't need something like that to get fans interested or to bring carnage and stuff like that. I feel like we're much more evolved as a wrestling fan base.
Well, wow, damn. The last thing, that's a big blow, but I disagree with you on the spot thing. I think we need spots like this, especially to like hype up tension with certain characters. I don't say this should be happening on every show, but sometimes certain characters need to push the limit. Was this spot done poorly? Yes. Could it have been done better? Yes. If he had done it correctly, it would have gotten more eyes on the product just like it is now. And also, you want to have Eddie Edwards, crap with an eye socket. So I think we just need spots like this done in a better way. If he hadn't done this the way it should have been, everything would have been kosher. Nobody would be saying like calling for Sami Callihan's head on a platter or whatever. It just would have been something to add on to his character to show how fucking psycho this guy is. And
I think that's a lame character. Why do we need psycho characters? And like, because the thing is, psycho characters. No, Kesha, I like Impact Wrestling. I don't get why people think I hate it. Like, I have TNA t-shirts. I bought TNA brown bags. Why would I buy shit from a company I hate? That makes no fucking sense. So anyways, like, to make fun of it? No. It's stupid. Like, I'll make fun of old pay-per-views if they sucked. Like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this shitty pay-per-view in 2013. Sucked. Just like I do with WWE. But no, I do like Impact Wrestling. no white fans think like, why else would I be a Lashley fan or EC3 fan or say, oh, Drew Galloway is great, when I didn't like Drew McIntyre in his first run in WWE. I didn't get it. I was like, who the fuck is this asshole? Oh, he's the chosen one. Chosen one of who? Fucking no one? Shit. He sucked. But then, when he got released, I was like, I don't get why people think he's so talented. But yeah, no, I just think that Sami Callihan, honestly, like, cycle characters nowadays, they don't work in 2018. They need to evolve. They need to be a lot better. Like, kind of be like what Bray Wyatt is with the Cult. I think Trevor Lee, in a sense, because you love Trevor Lee. You like
the Cult of Lee is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what James Storm was also kind of doing with the Revolution and stuff like that. Like, that's good.
The thing about the Cult of Lee is it's kind of comedy too, because Trevor Lee's fucking hilarious. If you ever see him on a promo, like before he started Cult of Lee, he had like the dumb cave guy gimmick. So it's still with that now. Caleb Conley's doing it, which makes it even more fucking hilarious. He's dressing like Trevor. So I just find it fucking hilarious. Even though he's an evil guy, it's still fucking some comedy in there.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. That's more characters that we need in Impact. Like that's more of like the sadistic, like Sanity, for example. Sanity are not just like, oh, we're just psycho for the sake of being psycho. They have their like reasonings. There's some controlled chaos in there. Minus Killian Dane. Killian Dane just makes no sense for the group. He's only in there because Vince is going to shove him down our throats this year. But
and also, like, who's the other big guy that was there, but Killian Dane took his place?
Lars Sullivan?
No, it was another guy. Fuck. Hold on, while you're talking, I'm going to go on Wikipedia and look up Sanity and see all that shit.
No, I thought they only just had Killian Dane, the other tag team partner that I forgot the name of, EY, and then Nikki.
Yeah, when they debuted, okay, I'm just looking it up. And
I'm just saying, like, I just think Sami Callihan's character does not even work. Like, I just feel like there's no controlled chaos. It's just him being a psycho just for the sake of being psycho. Like, it's not a good character. I just think it's a weak character in 2018 pro wrestling. Like, I just don't like it.
Sawyer Fulton.
Sawyer Fulton? Yeah, he's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, that's the guy that Killian Dane took a spot on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's not doing shit. He's like nothing on the road. I think he got released actually recently. Do you think Alexa Bliss could work as a face? Kesha, somewhat. I mean, she did play face on NXT and it was all right, but right now she's a heel, so I don't know. But we're doing an Impact debate, so I'll take questions a little bit later, and stuff like that.
I'm gonna say this. I know we're on Impact, but if Alexa Bliss faces Asuka at WrestleMania, there is no way they should have a competitive match. Asuka should push Alexa Bliss's shit in like less than a minute. Maybe less than that shit, like one knockout kick.
Or just put her into Asuka lock or whatever the hell they like to
call it.
Like
the way Alexa Bliss is booked, yeah, she's very crafty and shit, but the way they have Asuka steamrolling people, she should knock Alexa Bliss out, like, or Asuka lock, whatever, in like a snap of a finger, just to show that Asuka is dangerous. And then, obviously they're building it to Asuka versus Ronda, so Ronda can beat Asuka. And
which I can kind of see why they would do that, because Asuka needs a foil. That's like the only complaint to Asuka's character, is that she doesn't really have a foil, and Ronda's kind of like the only one, because like they could have had Nia be her foil, but they fucked up with Nia so many times. Like, Nia Jax has just been one of the... I like Nia Jax, too. I think she can carry the whole Raw women's division if she wanted to. But she's just been fucked up so many times by the booking. It's just sad.
Really, Nia should be going after Alexa, and they should have deviated Asuka to Ronda and had... I don't know the SmackDown thing. I don't know what they're going to do for SmackDown.
Well, even Asuka versus Charlotte would be a lot fucking better than Asuka versus Alexa.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to see, like, seriously, why would I want to waste my time seeing Asuka take on some... no offense to Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss has just been a mediocre champion as of late. It's not like she's been something great. Like, I would take Asuka and Nia at WrestleMania. Like, Nia Jax being this dominant women's champion. Yeah, it's like a predictable story and everything, but hell, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And plus, Nia, she's improved so much. It's such a shame. She's like poorly fucking booked, and she got on Total Diva, so she has to do Total Diva storylines where she has to leave backstage because she's getting body shamed or whatever. Such a shame. But always life. Hey, she's getting that Total Divas paycheck, so who can blame her? And stuff like that. Back to Impact Wrestling, because Alucard's going to stay for the Q&A part, so we can ask all these random wrestling questions. But if you guys do have questions, y'all can just send them in. Another thing about Impact Wrestling that I don't get, Alucard, is this with the fans per se. Because this is why I wanted to debate an Impact fan, because I just don't understand the mindset of just like, you know, what I don't get is like, how come Impact always gets enabled? How come we always have to like forget about the past of Impact and move forward to the future? How come it's always like, we need to be positive with Impact? But if I told any of these Impact fans, oh yeah, dude, just be positive with WWE. Like, not saying you should. Like I wouldn't say the same thing for Impact. It's just more of like, if you like it, you like it. That's how I view it. But let's just say if I go with someone with WWE, I'm like, oh yeah, just be happy Roman's wrestling. Like, we don't get big men talent like this very often. Like, you should be happy. Like how come that's a bad thing? Being positive for WWE and stuff like that, but it's okay to be negative. But it's okay to be positive about Impact and not negative. How come like negativity cannot exist in Impact? How come fans can't critique and say bad things about Impact Wrestling?
Well, there is negativity from Impact fans, you know, when they have bad show. But the thing is, when they bring up, like, you talking about, like, from new ownership to whatever compared to WWE.
To be honest, new ownership, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if it's under new ownership. Sorry, don't. Scott D'Amore is still booking with the company. He was booking with the company when they were first starting. Sorry, same shit to me. Los Mismos, same shit. I'm sorry, it's the same shit.
When TNA switches new
ownership, yeah, who cares? That doesn't erase their history. So now all of a sudden, everything we knew about Impact, we're supposed to forget? That's what I don't get.
You want to forget about it. It's just like, you're not, like, why would you bring up, like, something from 2004, like, oh, somebody slipped on a banana peel in the ring. I'm just being, you know, throwing some random bullshit out there, but oh, he slipped on a banana peel in 2004. So this Impact main event in 2016 is horrible. What? Like, that's the thing that people try, you know, get on people about. Whereas with WWE, you know what it is. It goes through Vince until Vince dies, and that's the way it is. Point blank. Period.
Okay, so how come is it that it's like with Impact, it's like, well, we can't bring up anything from the past because it's different ownership and shit. But they can change writers, and yeah, it goes through Vince. But ultimately, if Reigns is wrestling a match, and it's like, oh, LOL, Reigns wins before the match, it's like, oh no, that was in the past that they were on Reigns. They're on different characters now. You gotta stop thinking about that. Until Reigns leaves, and no, he sucks. He can't wrestle. Reigns is not supposed to win. Blah blah blah. It's like that's what I don't get. Where it's like, to me personally, the past is the past, and you gotta live with your mistakes. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, someone tells me to focus on the present and stay positive. It's like, no. Because when it comes down to it, Impact fans don't show the same narrative to other corporations. That's where I find Impact fans hypocritical. Because it's okay for them to be like, oh, I love seeing E fanboys cry, or NJPW warriors cry, or Arena ROH bots cry. I love seeing those guys cry and stuff like that. But for us, no. This is us. This is Impact. Stay positive. It's like, no. We're allowed to poke fun. We're allowed to give our, We're allowed to give our opinions about Impact Wrestling and stuff like that. And we're allowed to say what we want about it. Past, present, or future. It doesn't matter. So to me personally, I think it's a dumb, flawed argument saying that, hey, just focus on the present, be positive, when no one does that for the other companies. So you telling me? It's
all about how they bring it up too.
No, that's how they bring it up to me. So here's the thing: if I have to be positive about Impact, y'all need to be positive about WWE. Say 5 good things about WWE that isn't like obvious. Say 5 good things that you wouldn't like, because that's what Impact fans want me to do. They want me to say 5 good things that I don't like, and that's bullshit. Because I'm not going to make you and sit here and say, well, I like Roman Reigns. I think he's a great wrestler. No, that's not your opinion. I don't want you to fucking say that if you don't fucking believe it. That's stupid. I like Roman Reigns, but I'm not going to force you to like Roman Reigns. I think he's a solid talent. I think he brings good money, and I think he does good shit. But you may disagree. That's fine. That's something that we're never going to agree on. But when it comes down to it, how come I need to be positive about Impact, but y'all can't be positive about any other company? We always have to be positive about Impact. Don't bring up negatives. And this was back when I was reviewing Impact, because I remember I said it was stupid that Samoa Joe and Low Ki were going for the X Division title. What is this, 2007? I thought this was a new era of Impact in 2014. And all these fuckers were like, oh, hater. I'm not being a hater. I'm just speaking the truth. I thought we were moving on forward to the future. So that's the thing that I didn't get. At
that time, there were really no new X Division talents like they have now with Damien Xavier and Ishimori and Matt Sydal. You know, it was kind of where they had to rely on Samoa Joe. But getting back to the original question of why people aren't positive about.
No, they tell me to stay positive about TNA, never mention their negatives. How come that? But every other company we can be negative about.
The reason people do that, especially like under new ownership, because the plans change, and it seems like sometimes even under the new ownership, people aren't willing to give storylines or new ideas a chance of impact. They'll just immediately throw them under the bus. Like I remember when Eddie Edwards became world champion, people automatically threw that under the bus, even though Eddie Edwards, granted, he was a vanilla champion.
Well, it was I thought it was dumb booking because Lashley literally beat Edwards like 2 weeks before, and then all of a sudden now Lashley can't beat him. Like, what the fuck is this? That made no sense.
In that match, let's be fair. The way they booked it was great because Lashley, he looked dominant throughout the match, and it was a fluke that Eddie Edwards won. Lashley like ran full force into a knee, so obviously that should, no matter who you are, that should knock you out. And he got right back up after the 3 count, so it still made Lashley look strong. But the thing is, people weren't willing to give Eddie a chance when he won the belt. They were like, "Oh, he's a tag team guy. Why are they putting the belt on a tag team guy? What didn't he like have a storyline in the S division and all that?" They were just bringing up the past and not looking forward to the future of what Eddie Edwards could have been as a world champion. Whereas in WWE, like I said, it still follows that script guideline of, Roman Reigns winning. You just know it. You know certain things aren't going to get out of place. Like, you knew the Miz wasn't going to win the Elimination Chamber. Whereas in Impact, when they change writers or go in a new direction, you don't know who the fuck is going to be world champion.
And to me personally, that's bad direction. That's bad identity. That's an identity crisis right there that I think a lot of Impact fans don't want to admit. Is because here's the thing. You want to establish who are top guys and who are main event level guys, so that way people know the structure and the hierarchy of your company. Because if, let's just say, and yes, Trevor Lee's a solid talent, very good talent, could be a world champion one of these days. Yeah. But if he randomly wins the world title, it's kind of like, what? Huh? Question mark. He's just the X Division. Now he's a world. Huh? Do you understand it? Like, it's like when Chris Harris almost won a title back in the day.
Let's say Chris Sabin.
Yeah, when Chris Sabin beat Bully Ray out of fucking nowhere, that was stupid. That was dumb. Like, just because he was doing Option C and they wanted to keep Option C a little bit hot and fresh and everything like that. No.
But also, he won the Option C, and granted, Option C, it just like Money in the Bank, everybody shouldn't win it all the time. Shouldn't win the world title every time. In the storyline or in the match, he hit Bully Ray with a fucking hammer. So obviously he was going to win that match, and they wanted to, I guess, what did Chris Sabin say in the interview? They wanted to incentivize him for being with Impact, so they gave him a run with the world title. Did he live up to being a world champion?
He wasn't ready to be a world champion.
No. It seemed like after he lost it, he became a lot better on the mic, and as far as personality.
He was doing a mid-card feud. You can't just say, oh, he was doing a mid-card feud, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, when you're doing segments where you're making fun of your ex-wife, Velvet's guy, and you're calling her a piece of shit, Yeah, that could be funny to a lot of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. Like, I'm just being honest here. It's like when it comes down to it, man. You got to know your structure. You got to know who are like. Not saying Eddie Edwards wasn't a guy that could have been a main eventer, but at that point, when the way he was booked and the way he was presented, Lashley looked like he had no problem with Eddie Edwards. Lashley looked like Eddie Edwards was another dude in the rear view mirror. Now, if it was like Eddie Edwards was this X Division champion for a long time, he was about to do option C, but then he lost flukily to someone else. Lashley beat that X Division champion. Eddie Edwards came out and said, "Hey, Lashley, you never faced me." Lashley shrugs him off, says, "Okay, Eddie, let's do this." And then they have a match. Eddie Edwards does what you said. Boom! There you go! That makes sense. That is money. But what they did made no sense, made no money, and ultimately didn't benefit either Lashley or Eddie Edwards moving forward. Do you see what I'm saying there, or is that still lost? And especially too, because we had Davey Richards come out and be a fucking dumbass and cost him the world title when Davey Richards should have thought, hey, if I would have kept Eddie as world champion, then our match would have been a world title match. Like, it made Davey Richards look like the most dumbest character in wrestling history. At least with Ciampa and Gargano, at least Ciampa sits there and says to himself, oh, I actually want to see Johnny Wrestling succeed so I can take away everything that he has. Like, at least Ciampa says that. At least Tommaso Ciampa says that type of shit. But when it comes to, like, Davey Richards, it wasn't like Davey Richards said, oh, I don't... No, he was like, I'm jealous of you, Eddie. You took the advantage that I should have had. It's like, 'cause when I was injured. It's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, do you understand where my booking kind of makes sense with Eddie Edwards a little bit more than what you were trying to convince me with what TNA did? Because that's bad structure. That's not good structure. You need good structure. And I'm not saying WWE has good structure. WWE has terrible structure with a lot of their wrestlers because they always book their wrestlers safe, and it's stupid. And I'm going to make a whole video about that one of these days. I just got to watch more tape.
Also continue this storyline from Lashley where Lashley, I don't know if you caught this, Lashley, he always loses to X Division guys. Like, or he's pushed to his limit to where he has to cheat. Like with DJZ, he has to do something out of the way. Or Matt Sydal, Eddie. He always has it's something in his character. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose to where he loses to X Division guys. Yes, he may beat them, but he's always pushed to his limit. And through Lashley's cockiness, when he lost to Eddie, he was like, okay, I already beat you. I'm going to beat you again. And that was his downfall in losing to Eddie. It's always something with the crew, with the X Division guys, to where Lashley, he's either over cocky and he loses, or he's just pushed this limit to where he has to cheat. And you know Lashley, he never cheats, ever. Like, even when he's a uber heel, he just beats people straight up.
Well, he necessarily doesn't cheat. He just throws them into steel steps, or he does something stupid like that. That's not really cheating. Like, cheating is like taking off the turnbuckle or using the chair behind their back and stuff like that. Lashley's done the chair spot a couple times, but most of the time he always does like the steel step thing where he dominates them or does the running power slam or just like kind of like throws them onto those steel steps, throws them in, gets them 3-point stance, spear, 1, 2, 3. There's Lashley. He's
like, even the Austin Aries thing when he had that match,
yeah, no, he did the stair spot. Like Aries tried to do the brainbuster, Lashley threw him on the stairs, threw in.
No, Aries, he tried to go for that Lope, that rocket or whatever through the bottom rope. Lashley ducked it.
Oh yeah, Lashley moved out the way. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Aries hit
even in that match, Aries pushed the man to his limit. Even Rude didn't push him to that kind of limit. And it's just like, are they doing this on purpose to where Lashley has this problem with X Division guys? I don't know.
Well, they never addressed it. It wasn't like that was a story point. That's the thing. Like, that's just something that you're guessing. It's nothing that, like, TNA is like, oh, yeah, well, Lashley went to a therapist or Lashley went to a trainer or his American Top Team guy says, oh, this is why you're losing to these X Division guys, blah, blah, blah. It's just more of like, oh, no, Lashley just sometimes struggles against these guys.
Yeah,
or it's
like, weird, though.
Or it's like David versus Goliath type of story where they just make it where it's like David can beat Goliath. Like, they're just using the good old David versus Goliath storyline.
I just found it kind of weird that happens all the time. Like every time I see a Lashley match versus X Division guy, he always loses. Like the Matt Sydal thing, that was, I want to say awkward because it helped Sydal become a bigger star and started his career. Well, no, I'm gonna say his new character because the EC3 stuff, but it kind of jumps. Sorry, it kind of jump started it, and EC3 just got it all the way up. So I wonder why Impact hasn't brought that up, because that would seem like a kind of clear and plain storyline that they could build off of.
Well, that's what TNA doesn't do. They don't build off clear storylines. They're like WWE. They don't take what's given to them. They just do anything else. They just do whatever the fuck they want. That's where I see the booking wrong with Impact, but Impact Wrestling fans always like to make up their own little fanfic storylines where I'm like, no, that wasn't a storyline at all. Like it was just dumb. So if you guys have any questions, y'all can send them in. I just got one more Impact Wrestling question because I just want to know. I just want to know why it's wrong to be negative. Like, I just don't understand why it's wrong to be negative or critique Impact. Like, I just don't get it.
It's not that being wrong and negative. It's just the same old jokes. Like,
no, but even if I critique a show and I say the show sucked or something, I get hate for it. Why?
I have no idea, because I've said the majority of Impact has sucked for these past couple months, and granted, you're getting more views than I am now or whatever, so I can't really address that. But even in the past, when Impact shows are bad and I say it, I don't get any hate. I don't know why, but it was something else about the brain. Shit. Well, whatever.
No, it's fine. No. TNA or Impact Wrestling, what was the best year? To me, the best year of Impact, maybe 2009-ish. I would say that was probably one of their best years. Overall, the company was probably the best in 05 and 07 because Cena was kind of becoming the Cena monster at that point. And then as well, they were going nostalgia acts in 07. It was kind of pathetic with the whole new DX and shit like that. So, yeah. I'd say 2009 was my favorite year. That was the best year of TNA. What would you say the best year of TNA was, Alucard?
I can't say because I don't really track the years like that. I can just point to specific moments. I'm not really good at remembering back to years. I can just think about certain matches that may stick with me. So I can't really say. I can't remember what happened in 2015 besides unless somebody brings something up or whatever.
All right. So I would say 2009. Your thoughts on the minus 10 star classic between Sharmell and Jenna Morasco from Victory Road 2009 LMAO. That match gets so much hate for, like, I don't know why, honestly. It's not like Sharmell and Jenna Morasco from Victory Road 09.
Sharmell versus Jenna
Morasco. Yeah, that was the Survivor winner. She came in TNA in 2009 and they had a feud. And it was like
Victory Road.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's considered one of the worst matches. I don't know, man. I feel like it gets overly, like, it's bad. But I still think, like, Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell, those fake caricatures that Vince brought, I think that's the worst feud that worst match I've ever seen. That's a minus 10 star classic. But like Spirit would say about that match, do not insert your penis inside.
Why is she wrestling in a gown?
Huh?
Why is she wrestling in a gown?
Because that's what Sharmell did. She was a princess.
Okay.
Who'd be down for chasing Alucard to do a live reaction to an old TNA pay-per-view? Sure, we'll fire up the Twitch. Maybe we'll watch like LAX versus maybe we'll watch like a 07 pay-per-view or something. I don't know. What's Alucard's thoughts on Jeff?
Why is Awesome Kong got here?
Because Awesome Kong was like Sharmell, I think, bodyguard at the time, or she was like, she had something to do with one of those two wrestlers. I think she was helping Jenna Morasco out, actually. What's your thoughts, Alucard, on Jeff Jarrett being inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame?
I'm kind of indifferent to it because I'm not really a Jeff Jarrett fan. Like, yes, the Slapnut shit was hilarious back in the day, but I'm not really whatever Jeff Jarrett. And then when he was in TNA, I will say this: it's good he started the company, but he basically used the thing as his own platform to where he always went over and always won championship. He became the Southern John Cena in a way, and it made me kind of, while he was there, hate TNA because Jeff Jarrett, he was just doing too much at the time. So
I'd say more like a ripoff Triple H from 0304. He was trying to like be like that.
Yeah, and as far as just going off his WWE career, being in the Hall of Fame, because that's what they're basing it off of.
Or WC and also WCW, they based it off that too.
Was he a world champion in WCW?
Yeah, Vince Russo gave him the belt all the time. He won like 2, 3. Yeah, he had like 3. Yeah, I want to say he had 3 world titles because I know Goldberg only had 1, and so like I always know like who won how many. Like it's always like a trivia question, like who won more world titles than Goldberg? Because people forget Goldberg's only like a 3-time world champion, like altogether, and stuff like that. Do I like Total Divas? Yeah, I watch it, Kesha. I've been a huge fan of Total Divas. I always laugh at it. It's a good, fun laugh, every once in a while. It's like, you don't take wrestling seriously.
Put Asuka on there.
Huh? No, dude, she'll get ruined on that show. Make her do stupid storylines. She can't speak that good English right now anyways. Like, we can barely understand what she's saying.
Yeah, but I've been following Asuka for a while, and it would just fit her natural personality. She's a high class, I would say, diva in her real life and everything. So,
well, yeah, same with Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane loves fucking yachting and shit.
I can see them putting both of them on Total Divas, even though they don't speak English well. They fit that high class, California living, because that's what she's been doing for years. I mean, the woman. She worked for Xbox. She's a computer programmer. She owns businesses in New Japan. So her doing the California stuff on Total Divas, yeah, I can see that coming a mile away.
Do I think Sasha Banks will win the title again? She's bound to win it again soon. Probably late 2018 when she'll probably do a spot and fans probably will be like, we want Sasha again. So yeah, probably soon. Do I consider Alexa Bliss a better talker than a better wrestler? Oh, hell yeah. I think she's a way better talker than she is wrestler.
Agreed.
Like, but she's probably if you want to go based off the women, she's probably one of the, and just WWE, because there's some good women talkers outside of WWE. But based in WWE, she's probably the best women's talker in WWE. If you want to just go overall promo-wise, she's probably one of the top 10 promo people in WWE. And that's including, like, with NXT and everything like that. She's a really good talker and stuff like that. But yeah, she's honestly one of the better promos in the business too, like overall too. But I say yeah, she's a way better talker than she is a wrestler and everything like that. But sometimes that's good if you are a good talker and not like look at Enzo. He made his money off being a better talker than he was a wrestler ever. So yeah, no, Alexa Bliss is a better talker than she is a better wrestler. Some people are just not good, don't grasp wrestling all that well. When you don't have to talk. Who do I think is the best women's wrestler right now? That's hard. There's a lot.
You can throw Rosemary in there. Rosemary.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. It's hard though.
I don't know if you know Io Shirai.
No, I don't know her.
She's good. Like I hate to go off the field, but I'm gonna just say this. Ring of Honor has this Women of Honor tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And they have a partnership with Stardom, and they don't have Io Shirai, who is like the ace of that company. She's like a 4-time heavyweight champion, won multiple belts and everything like that. Basically, she's the poster girl for that company.
Do you think they're saving her for later? Because
but she's not in the tournament.
No, but like she's gonna face like the winner down the road or something.
Hopefully, but
isn't Mandy Leon technically the best Ring of Honor women's wrestler right now? I don't know.
I would say Deonna Purrazzo is a way better wrestler.
But Mandy Leon,
like Mandy's hot, like no doubt about it.
Like Mandy Leon's like the one that they want to push though. Like that's like
okay, I can see that. Yeah,
like that's who I think. Like WWE wise, I think that if you ask pure wrestler, Asuka would probably be the best wrestler overall WWE wise. Impact Wrestling, they have a lot of good hidden gems. It's just like they just don't keep them. Like a lot of them either just like are just idiots and leave to stupid companies that make no sense, or they just they just stay with Impact, and then Impact kind of just like doesn't use them all that much, or they just wait till their contracts run out and stuff like that. But they have some solid talent. But yeah, I'll just say Asuka. I don't really follow women's wrestling all that much. Oh, Dan Bone says Lo Shari is the truth. How long do you see Roman holding the belt after Mania? Until SummerSlam.
For life.
No, he ain't no Okada. Okada would actually hold the belt for life. Would I like to see Cena versus Rock 3? If it was built right, then yeah. Why not? Chasing Alucard, in the event of Impact no longer being Pop TV after 2018 or early 19, do you see them going to a bigger network again, like former Spike TV, now known as Paramount Network? Yeah, I think there's an interest there. Maybe a USA, if they lose WWE, could maybe try to see if Impact could be something that they would fit in their resume, because they seem to like pro wrestling, so I don't see why they wouldn't want something like Impact Wrestling, especially because, like, you know, there's still some talent that Impact can steal from WWE if they don't go. I think, honestly, the Impact's just been striking out with a lot of the newer, like, you know, they've done good getting Brian Cage, who I thought was WWE bound at one point, but the thing is like, they keep striking out because, yes, they have new management, but also, too, it's like, a lot of people don't like, the thing is, a lot of the wrestlers that don't know Impact's schedule of doing all those TV tapings, some wrestlers don't like doing that shit, where they have to do a bunch of TV tapings, and then it's like, okay, I have to wait again. To like wait another few months to go tape again and stuff like that. Plus live event commitments and stuff like that. And then some of them too, they have to work out contracts, because a lot of them, the reason why they don't want to go to TNA is because TNA kind of like limits you to go to certain companies. Like, you can't go to certain companies if you have a TNA contract. And a lot of people don't want to be limited to, like, saying, like, especially if you're like an ROH guy, and it's like you make your living on the fact that ROH likes you, but you could do well in TNA. You don't want it where it's like, okay, I can't do Ring of Honor because I have to just do TNA, or I have to do, like, you know, and stuff like that. That's one of the problems, is because TNA lets you do independence, but at the same time, it's like you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just hard. So it's like, that's one of the hard selling points that TNA has, is that, like, and then also too, another big independent promotion like Evolve, that's under WWE banner. So if you're under the Impact name, you can wrestle for Evolve, but it's like kind of hard to get on those shows. It's kind of hard for a lot of, like, Impact guys. Like, that's why it's good that they're now in Canada, because Canada has a lot of good independent promotions that people don't fucking know about. Like, AJ Styles wrestled a lot of matches in Canada, like, and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot of good Canadian wrestling. So they can get new talent. They still can get new talent and everything like that. It's just going to take time. But the thing is, it's hard to sell to someone, hey, you know, like, you have to give up this independent paycheck to come wrestle for us. And stuff like that. And who knows, like, maybe they make more in Ring of Honor than they do in Impact. Does that kind of make sense, Alucard, what I'm trying to say? Or, like, would you add on to something that I missed out? Because, like, I think they could go to, like, a USA or a Paramount if they have interest going back to Paramount. But I think they could go to a channel like that for sure.
Anything can be possible in this day and age, as far as a company going somewhere or whatever. So that is possible. I mean, you never know what can happen in wrestling these days.
Let's see. Do you think Jeff Hardy should be in the main event when he comes back? Nah, he should just be Brother Nero for a little bit, and then be a main eventer like in 2019 when fans are like, hey, why isn't Jeff Hardy being pushed? That's American Alucard, Ross. That's whose voice it is.
Obviously, they're going to do, well, hopefully they're going to do Jeff Hardy versus Broken Matt and get them back on the same page, just like how Impact did it. I can see that coming too, because they just can't throw Jeff Hardy back on the roster unless they do like a brand, you know, you're drafted here, you're drafted here. You can't just throw Jeff Hardy as he is now with Broken Matt Hardy or Broken Matt Hardy. Like, something's going to give or whatever.
Do you think Enzo Amore will return to wrestling, not just say WWE? I think once Enzo's done with this whole court case thing, then yeah, I don't see why not, dude. Like, you make a bunch of money. I say join the fucking Bullet Club, have the Enzo Club t-shirts. Oh yeah, why not? Like, I don't see a bad thing. I think it would be a good grabbing if I don't know if Impact can get him though if he does, because I don't know about his criminal record past. Like, that's the only problem, because like crossing that border is always fucking annoying for a lot of people. Especially if that is if he gets charged, like, for a criminal past. Like, that's the only hard part. But yeah, no, he'd be a good signing for Impact. He'd be good for Ring of Honor. He'd be good for any independent, my personal opinion. I think he'd be a great at hell. Here's the thing, if James Ellsworth can get matches with Magnus for the NWA title, what do you think Enzo Amore is gonna fucking get? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, he could be a TNA World Champion. Like, he could be. Not saying he should, but he could.
Enzo?
Yeah, Enzo.
I can see him X Division. I can see him because the X Division really needs a talent, a larger than life personality. Like I said in one of my reviews, I can see Brian Cage being the X Division champion. That would be something new, different, and something that the X Division
be like the Samoa Joe when like Joe was doing this.
Exactly.
I think Cage is more of a world title guy or a mid card guy right now. I wouldn't put him in the X. I think Trevor Lee and the boys down there, Matt Sydal, I think they're doing okay with what they have down there right now. I don't think they need to like fuck that up right now. Do you think this would be a good year in WWE? The way it's going now, no. The reason why I say that is because, one, you're going to lose Lesnar. That's always a big loss. I don't care what people say. Oh, I'm not interested in Brock. Losing Brock Lesnar is still losing Brock Lesnar. Like, that's still a big loss. I don't care what anyone says. Like, that sucks. You don't really know what you're doing with, like, when John Cena doesn't have like a match at Mania that you can think of besides Old Man Taker, that's pretty bad. You don't know what the fuck they're doing with Roman, like, besides the fact that he's winning the title. Shinsuke, a lot of people are kind of already tired of him, and a lot of people want AJ to beat him at Mania. I mean, you other guys that you have on your reserves, like Finn and Rollins and everything like that, they're kind of just there.
I don't even know what Nakamura has been doing for like these past couple of months. They've let him fade completely into the background. Like, besides his Royal Rumble win, like, Nakamura has been dead from the waist, from the neck down.
Well, yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, everyone's like, oh no, they have nothing for him, so why put him on TV? He's a fucking Royal Rumble winner. At least do something with him. like I'm not supposed to like forget that he won a Rumble. You know, it's just dumb. So yeah, no, like, to me personally, it's just that 2018, it can be it depends on what WWE does during the summertime. Because let's be real here, WrestleMania is really not the WrestleMania anymore. It just has the name value. SummerSlam is really like their real WrestleMania. That's where they get most of their fan base back. That's when people start tuning back into wrestling and stuff like that. So that's at least my opinion. Like, I feel SummerSlam is when people start caring about wrestling a little bit more, because WrestleMania is during spring. No one gives a fuck about that shit right there. Do you think this would be do you think The Miz should be WWE champion again? Sure. I mean, why not? So yeah. Who's watching New Japan's 46th anniversary show this weekend? Oh, I'm interested. I can't wait to see Okada and Ospreay put on a decent match. Should be fun.
I might check it out just for the matches. Like, even though with the internet, you can find everything. I unfortunately don't have the time anymore to find Impact, to find New Japan and follow all the storyline, because it gets kind of time consuming to follow if you try to follow more than 3 shows. Like, I'm trying to Raw, Impact, and Ring of Honor it can be kind of a daunting task trying to follow all that. So, I just follow New Japan when I see specials or whatever.
Yeah, it's the Solid Monster page. There's like a cool guy. He posts like all the New Japan results, so it's kind of easy for me to follow. Plus, I have New Japan World, so I check it out whenever I can and stuff like that. Let's see. What are the matches on the New Japan 46th anniversary show? I haven't paid attention. Well, Ross, that's why I'm here. So, let's get started looking at the New Japan Pro Wrestling 46 show, brought to you by KFC Spicy Gold Chicken. No, it's not the same WWE. What else does WWE get sponsored by? Mountain Dew, Kickstart, and stuff like that. So, the first match is Ryusuke Taguchi, Kushida, Tiger Mask, Joshin Thunder Liger, Hiroshi Tenzan, taking on Ren Narita, Tetsuro Hiro Yagi, Shota Umino, Tomoyuki Oka, Yuji Nagata, and a 5-man tag team match and stuff like that. So, basic opener. Best of 7 series, 7th match. Manabu Nakanishi versus Katsuya Kitamura. The 3rd match is a 6-man tag, and I'm guessing this is for the never openweight 6-man tag titles. I'm not sure. It doesn't say on here. Toa Henry, David Finlay, Juice Robinson taking on Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto. Then we have a 3-way for the junior heavyweight tag team titles. It's Sho and Yo, Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, and El Desperado versus Yoshini Komamura. Then we have a special singles match. The Great Sanada taking on Yoshihashi. And yes, he's always a great Sanada to me. Then we have another special single match. Tetsuya Naito taking on Taichi. That should be a solid matchup. 7th match. IC title match. Minoru Suzuki, the champion, defending against Togi Makabe. Wow, Makabe got a fucking title match. Good for that.
That's wild that he won the Intercontinental Championship from damn, I forgot the guy, the 8th. That's just
Tanahashi.
Yeah, that's wild that they put the belt on him. Not wild as far as like discuss it. It's just wild that at his age he's still putting on those great matches, and that they have enough faith in him to make him the IC champion.
Well, it was like Tanahashi was injured, so it was like, what are you gonna do? Like, just have his corpse come out there? And plus, Suzuki kind of like he kind of earned his keep after the never openweight belt, so it was like kind of like an openweight match at Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah, and then
I thought they were gonna build when I saw who's got Zack Sabre Jr. beat him in the G1. I thought they were going to build off of that and have Zack Sabre defeat Tanahashi at the pay-per-view, but instead they went with Jay White, which surprised the hell out of me when I saw Jay White.
It surprised everyone that they went with Jay fucking White. We don't talk about Switchblade on this channel. All right. And then we have my boy, Okada, taking on the junior heavyweight champion, Will Ospreay. So.
What? Is that for a title?
No, well, they're both part of Chaos. I think it's just a special attraction match. It could be for the title. It didn't say on the New Japan website. Yeah, but I think more people are more excited for Strong Style Evolved. Obviously, we've already lost one match from Strong Style Evolved, which kind of sucks because we don't know what Rey Mysterio's health is like. But, you know, you got Jay White taking on Hangman Page, and, of course, the Bucks taking on the Golden Lover. So people are excited for that match and stuff like
What's
that.
the story behind that shit? Like the Golden Lover? Is Kenny Omega still in the Bullet Club, or
no? He left. He's done with the Bullet Club.
Okay, but what's like in Ring of Honor, stop. In Ring of Honor, Cody's like they're gonna be fighting for the leadership of the Bullet Club. So I mean, you know, why are they?
The thing is, Kenny Omega is still friends with the Bucks. Like they're still the Elite. And the Elite are kind of like a subgroup of the Bullet Club. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's kind of like you got to follow their stupid YouTube channel to kind of get the feud. Like, if you don't watch their YouTube stuff, you're not going to get it.
Okay, I guess so.
Oh, my God. The Bullet Club won the never openweight 6-man tag title again. Dude, that title is the most spread around title in New Japan. Do I want to see Nakamura win or AJ Styles retain? Oh, Styles retain. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want Nakamura as champion. I think it would be bad. Would I want to see a Bound for Glory series come back, or would you find another way to find contender for the TNA World title? I honestly, the Bound for Glory series was a solid idea, but I think another idea would be a little bit better for TNA than the Bound for Glory series. Because, like, the problem was with the Bound for Glory series is, like, especially, like, the early conceptions is, like, a lot of the earlier matchups didn't fucking matter. Because, like, Devon Dudley was, like, the leader of the Bound for Glory series, and then he gets taken out and stuff like that. Like, Devon was, like, the clear-cut first place. He's facing Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory. Then he gets injured, and he was like, oh, well, the reason why he got injured, he wasn't even able to wrestle at Bound for Glory. But then he defends the fucking TV title at Bound for Glory. So that made no sense. So the Bound for Glory series, like, the way that it was booked and everything was just out of control. Like, it's it's just so hard to book something like that. And then they did some stupid stuff as well, like Crimson, like missed opportunity there. So really, to be honest, no. I think they could think of a new way to do, like, I wouldn't mind if they did option C, maybe be the gimmick for Bound for Glory, where if you're the X Division champion, you get the shot.
Should they do it like G1? Should they do the Bound for Glory series like they do the G1?
Or maybe do a King of the Mountain match, like if you win at Slammiversary, you become the #1 contender for Bound for Glory and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like, you know, something that's TNA, like that says like, okay, you're in the King of the Mountain match at Slammiversary. You win the Slammiversary, and I know, yes, Slammiversary is like in June and Bound for Glory is in October, but I feel like TNA could pull it off where it's like, okay, because like when you win the G1, it's like you wait until fucking January, the Tokyo Dome show, to get your shot at the title, right? So it's like, what's the difference if you go on in, what's it called? If you go on and you wait from June to like October, like there's no fucking difference. So like if you, let's just say they do a 5, maybe 6-man King of the Mountain at the most. That winner, they become the #1 contender. They get to base the champion at Bound for Glory. There you go. Like, that'd be cool, dude. When did Suzuki win the title? He won it back in January, Ross. Like, Suzuki won the title literally, like, the weekend at, or I want to say, like, a few days after Wrestle Kingdom. Because he beat Tanahashi. Because Tanahashi, my boy, has not come back yet. I missed the ace, dude. I need to see him bury people again, dude. New beginnings, yeah, super early. Do I look like Bruce Blitz? Blitz is a funny guy. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I don't hate him. But he's a funny dude. Will Okada still be champion on December 31st, 2018? Well, Ross, the way things are going now, I think so. Because I don't know who the fuck he would face at Dominion. That's the one thing I don't know where they're going to go with the Dominion show. Like, who would he face at Dominion? Like, I don't know who he would face at Dominion. How do I feel about Bobby Lashley coming back to WWE? I'm happy with the Jay Barton. I hope they book him well. Hope he goes to SmackDown and avoids Raw, because on Raw he'll be fed to the Wolves, the Big Dog, and Care Bear, and yeah, it won't be good. Tanahashi will be back for the New Japan Cup, bitches. Good. We need him. We need Tanahashi. I want Tanahashi to go back to Okada, tell him, you're a young boy. You ain't ready for this title because I'm still the ace, bitch. That's still one of my favorite New Japan promos ever. Did you ever see that promo after Wrestle Kingdom 9? Where you buried Okada after Okada lost to him?
No, I think the first Wrestle Kingdom I watched was 10. I think when Kenny Omega made his debut as a cleaner and he won the junior heavyweight title.
Yeah. Based on the recent booking of #Cringe Ronda, do you think it will be a failure down the road? I think once she gets out of this feud, it's going to be fucking interesting to see. It's going to be fucking interesting to see what WWE does with her. But I think right now, I honestly think she'll do a lot better once she gets out of this Triple H and Stephanie feud. I just think that this feud is just something that's just like, well, Triple H needs a WrestleMania match, so does Stephanie, because Stephanie is everything. So, yeah. But I think, honestly, once she gets out of this feud, I think it's going to be a lot better.
But what woman, obviously you don't want to push her to Asuka yet, what woman would you put her against for her first feud out of that Triple H Stephanie feud? Who would you put there?
I think, honestly, Nia Jax is a good option that you could choose.
Okay.
But honestly, if they do something, I don't trust them to do something decent with this Bayley heel turn, but Bayley wouldn't be a bad option because she would be a good antithesis to what Ronda Rousey is and stuff like that. Because like Bayley can do these whiny promos, especially if she goes heel. She can do these whiny promos, be like, I dreamed about this like my whole life, and you're just coming here and you're stealing everything that I work. Like, she can do the whole "you're stealing everything that I worked for" promos and do all these overrated, like, you know, that everyone loves in wrestling. And it would be a good antithesis to what Rousey is. And, you know, Bayley, honestly, like, when you look at styles, you know, styles make fights and styles make matchups. Bayley's a very basic-ass wrestler. She just does suplexes. She does a lot of rest holds. You know, she doesn't do a bunch of flashy shit. That's good with Ronda. Like, I feel like Ronda with a bigger girl, it's just like I would say Nia for her for like the summertime. Like, I think Asuka and Ronda is like the match at SummerSlam. Like, that's what you build for at SummerSlam. But I think Bayley would be a solid first opponent. You know, like, especially if she does this heel thing and stuff like that. She does her thing against Sasha. She would be a good antithesis to what Ronda Rousey represents. Now, then again, this does consider WWE to do stuff right, which they don't like to do. But I would like to say Bayley would not be a bad first opponent, at least in my opinion. And Natalia's pretty solid too. Natalia's pretty solid if they bring her over with the Superstar Shakeup. She's someone with a good resume and stuff like that. So yeah. Do I think the Thunder can beat the Warriors? No, Kesha. Sorry. Like, they just don't have the pieces on the bench to beat the Warriors. They don't have like what the Rockets have on the bench to beat the Warriors, in my personal opinion. So yeah. Do I care for Brock versus Lashley? A little bit, Jay Barden. There's a little interest there. But at the same time, I don't really care because it's like kind of like, well, Brock, you're leaving, so we're going to make Lashley win. You know, it's like kind of like that's the reason why Lashley's going to win. I would care if it's like, okay, Brock has a full-time, well, not a full-time contract, but Brock re-signed with the company. Lashley's coming back to the company. Holy fucking shit. Who's going to win this match? That's more interesting than, well, Brock's leaving, so he's just doing the job to Lashley. You know, like, that's not interesting whatsoever. Chase, if the steroid allegations against Reigns is true, what should WWE do? In my opinion, take him out of the match. If the steroid things are true, they'll just do what they did with Edge and Batista. Keep on wrestling, brother. I mean, Edge and Batista got caught in 07. They still fucking wrestled in the main event. So I'll keep on wrestling, brother. They'll figure out down the road. What, replace him with fucking Care Bear? Great. Great, replace him with Care Bear. Bore the bricks out of everyone in the fucking Mania thing. What do you think about these steroids allegations, Alucard? Do you believe they're true? Because I think Reigns already got busted for it. Like when he did the first 30-day suspension. I think WWE's not worried about Reigns. I think they're more worried about the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar.
The steroid thing, I really don't care because if WWE not going to really hold Roman Reigns accountable if he's, really doing these things, it just, shows that they're biased towards him. And, if it was
they didn't hold Edge accountable. Edge never got suspended. Edge and Batista were on the list in 2007.
For
steroids.
Edge tested positive for dope.
Yeah, there was a huge steroid list that came out in 07. Edge was on the list. Edge and Batista. They didn't get in trouble. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just protecting their top stars.
Which is something they're probably not supposed to do if they're trying.
Hey, Brock didn't get suspended, and he got popped by USADA. So
Brock is never there. Like I'm not even counting Brock. Like Brock is a non-factor when it comes to wrestling in general because he's only wrestled like 4 matches a year.
Yeah, but he's still one of their wrestlers. He's their champion.
Yeah, and he shouldn't be He shouldn't be the champion. Like I don't know how to even like you made a guy a champion who's never there and just there for like the main like big 4 pay-per-view. Like you can't build a story around the guy and just horrible. It was just horrible that he did this shit.
If Brock goes back, do you do the Stipe fight? I'll do the Francis Ngannou fight. Have Brock face Ngannou and see if he's ready to take a real punch. I hope the company finally pulls the trigger on Lashley and make a world champion. A man can dream. A man can dream. All right. If Lesnar versus Care Bear happened last, I'd leave Mania early. No lie. Yeah, no one wants to see Lesnar and Care Bear main event. I think Ronda's main eventing this WrestleMania, so that's my opinion. Who do I think will defeat Ronda Rousey? Either Asuka in the revenge match. It's like Asuka in the revenge match. Nia Jax could defeat Ronda Rousey. Knowing this company, they probably would give it to Sasha Banks or Alexa Bliss or do something stupid like that. Charlotte, she's always a factor. She's a golden child for a fucking reason. So, Charlotte can do it.
Even with the Ronda thing, I still would find it hard to believe that Ronda would beat Asuka unless she like cheated or whatever. Because watching Ronda in UFC, her main thing is if somebody pushes her shit in with punches and kicks, she can't hang.
Yeah, no. That's why I think Asuka that's why I think Ronda's the perfect foil to Asuka, because it's like, yes, Ronda has done UFC, but Asuka is kind of like a legit striker too. So it'd be like it could still be a good upset story for Ronda. That's why I'm saying Ronda would be like the underdog in that situation. It would be like two beasts going at it. You have the Ronda Rousey monster and the Asuka monster going at it. But I think Ronda Rousey winning would be fine and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think that I think that'd be fine if like Asuka could probably take her in a real fight. I like honestly, I think a lot of girls could take Ronda in a real fight. Like judo, different story. Just playing judo, different story. Fighting, I mean, Asuka's strikes are pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I agree with you about Asuka. I think Asuka could take her in a fucking fight, easy. Like who? Like honestly, like I just feel that Ronda's the perfect person to beat Asuka because she has the UFC street cred. You know.
If they have it to where Ronda beats Asuka, I think it would also add to her character, especially if they build it for a year. If she cheats or does something malicious to win, to where
they could have Shayna Baszler come out and everything like that. You know, that's believable.
That would be good. You know, it could start the horsewomen stable in WWE. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you could do something like that. So, you know, no, I can see her cheating to win, but like I feel like they want to build her as a babyface first, you know? Yeah, that's another thing, JC. You bring up a great point. The FBI is not really like looking at WWE being like, oh, your top guy is doing steroids or something. Like steroid investigations, a lot of times the FBI does get involved with that shit. So like that's why I don't get when people go like, oh, what's it called? Like, this is like I said, I think this is a non-story too. I think there's really nothing about the story and stuff like that. But then again, we don't know if there is FBI or not. Sometimes they like to keep shit quiet. Yeah, I know. I just hate when these stories come out about steroids. It's just so terrible. I would like to see Black Beast Derek Lewis versus Brock Lesnar. Oh god, that'd be funny promos. Derek Lewis would be funny. Shayna's gonna beat Ronda. Shayna could be a good choice too, but you know that's Ronda's friend. Maybe that's it. Ronda loses all her friends. She could be like Becky Lynch, loses all her friends. Can Asuka really fight? Yeah. I mean, when you're in New Japan and you work the Japanese style, Alucard's watched a lot more than I have. He can tell you, man. Like you gotta know how to actually fucking throw punches and shit. Like it's not. Let me say this. When I was training in wrestling, I faced a lot of Japanese wrestlers. I'm just saying, I got kicked pretty fucking hard in the face. So they don't just slap their knee and that's a kick. No, it's an actual kick sometimes. So I don't know, Alucard, you watch more women wrestling. You watch more Kana matches, aka Asuka matches than I've watched. You can attest that girl can actually throw hands if she needs to, right?
Yeah, she. If people can believe this, she's actually toned it down. Like in WWE, like when she had her own stuff or wrestled in shows in Japan, it was some legit stuff to where you're like, she's actually hurting people. Like it looked really dangerous, especially like her own shows, like when she bought her own stuff and everything like that.
Can Andrade be a better Del Rio than Del Rio was in 2011 if he goes on the way to the main roster? I don't know because Del Rio was shoved down our throats. I don't think Andrade Cien Almas is shoved down our throats, but better Del Rio. I don't know. Del Rio is so mixed between people. Some people like him, some people hate him. I thought he was a good main eventer for what he needed to be. The thing is, I don't know if Andrade could be a good babyface because we saw babyface Andrade with the fedora. He was boring as fuck. Like yep. I feel like heel is where he's at, and that was the thing. Like whatever we want to say about Del Rio, even though Del Rio wasn't the most interesting guy, he was able to play babyface if needed. It wasn't like Del Rio was the perfect babyface, but you could use him as a babyface. Like he was good. Like the Jack Swagger shit. Oh, beautiful. That promo package is like, I came to America for the. Like I was crying, dude. So it's like he can do that, man.
But also with Andre, most of his heel success is due
Zelina Vega.
Yeah, so if you take away Zelina Vega, is he still the good heel because I mean he doesn't do anything like heelish. I mean he wins his matches for the most part clean. It's just he might do something where like he hits the knees on to Gargano.
The most heelish thing that I've ever seen him do, he like took up the turnbuckle pad once. Like that's it. He's never really used that, or like but like he never goes for the chair. It's like Vega throws the chair in and says, "Use it, do it." Like it's kind of like that, you know. It's not like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get this chair," you know. It's not like he decided to get the chair. He will use it if it's thrown to him, you know.
Use the opportunity because of Selena, but then again, it goes back into Selena being a good heel.
Yeah. So yeah, like Cien, like I think he will be I think he can put on great matches with a lot of guys on the roster, but that can only get you so far. When Ronda wrestles in her debut match, do you think she'll wear something similar to like her UFC gear, plus adding boots and knee pads? Oh yeah, I think it'll be something similar to her UFC career. I don't know, man. Like, I would be weird if she didn't come out in her UFC stuff, man.
I'm trying to picture her coming out in like wrestling attire with the tight shorts and the wrestling boots and the tie. Like that, yeah. Like Ronda Rousey's body hot, but the face is not. So I don't know. Will she come out in UFC shorts? That's gonna be interesting to see at WrestleMania because
I think she comes out in UFC gear. Do you think Ronda should be a heel? Down the road, yeah. Because the thing is with wrestling fans, they'll be like, "Oh, look at her. She's taking away opportunities." They'll whine and bitch about something about Ronda. They'll complain about something, and then you got to turn her heel. And I don't think they're afraid to turn Ronda heel because Ronda as a face or Ronda as a heel doesn't matter. It's still Ronda Rousey. It's still going to make media headlines. So it's something.
But is she going to wrestle more or less matches than Brock?
I would say more because Alexa Bliss wrestles less. She's wrestled less than like honestly, if you look at Alexa Bliss's resume, she hasn't wrestled that much. She's only wrestled 5 matches this year.
God damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, she only wrestled Asuka. She only wrestled like TV wise. But when she does house shows, all I heard from house shows is that she does triple threats, and most of the time she just lays down. She doesn't really wrestle. So it's like if you look at Alexa's resume on TV shows, she faced Asuka in January. Then she wasn't even in the Women's Royal Rumble. She did Mixed Match Challenge. She wrestled 2 Raws back to back, and that was the first time she's wrestled 2 Raws back to back since July. And then she did a 5th match. Then she did a 5th match at Elimination Chamber. And then her 6th match was did she wrestle recently on Raw? I think she wrestled yeah. So she's had 6 total matches TV wise on year. This whole year. So I think Ronda could wrestle like if she does that. Like I mean, if Alexa Bliss has that type of schedule, I don't see why Ronda Rousey can't.
Well, let me rephrase that. Is Ronda going to be a consistent member of the roster on television?
Yeah. She signed a full-time contract.
It's not a Brock Lesnar.
No, it's not a Lesnar deal. The only thing is, early from her contract, she's not going to really be around because she made movie commitments first that she already had. So like early, it's going to be like, okay, she might be like not here that much, but it was that because she already made those commitments. But like I think after May, it's like she's like literally full-time wrestler and stuff like that. Like she'll be wrestling like the reason why she wasn't there after her Royal Rumble debut was because she was still filming a movie in like Colombia or some shit and stuff like that. So I think she still has like a couple more movies. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's what I've just heard from camps. Is that, oh yeah, Ronda still has some movies and then she will be able to come full. But no, yeah, she signed a full-time contract, man. So yeah, she's there for a long haul.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that's why I was saying like Bayley would be her first feud after the WrestleMania thing because she's not because like I don't know what her paycheck is. They haven't really said how much to pay her and stuff like that. Do you think we see Jeff Jarrett on WWE TV after the Hall of Fame gig? Possible.
You know it.
Like it's possible. You know, like, Jeff Jarrett has an ego. Why wouldn't he want to get you on WWE TV? Do you think Ronda's promos are going to get better? I mean, her UFC shit didn't get better on the mic, so what makes me think her WWE shit's going to get better? There's a reason why Ronda Rousey was promoted as a submission badass and not Conor McGregor that could actually talk. Do you think Rey Mysterio deserves in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely, Jay Barden. Rey Mysterio is a Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter what you say. Hell, he could go to any wrestling Hall of Fame. It's fine. Bliss is a silver child, not a golden children. Get that right. What's up, Batman? Thoughts on Ortega versus Holloway? It is what it is. We lost Alucard. Thanks, Alucard. Oh, wait. What happened? Did I end the call? Did he end the call? Well, he ended the call. So, yeah. That was American Alucard. Thank you, American Alucard, for coming on. Hope you guys enjoyed what he brought to the table and stuff like that. I thought I was fair in the debate. Felt we had a good time and stuff like that. But, yeah, Alucard's done. Good night to American Alucard. I don't know what happened. He just ended the call and stuff like that. But, yeah, Ortega versus Holloway. I'm excited for that fight. It is what it is. I still think Holloway has the advantage striking-wise. Because, like, Frankie was giving it to Ortega earlier on. You know, Ortega just got some good punches in and shit like that. But I still think Holloway has the advantage standing up. But I think Ortega would actually be able to use his wrestling in this match because I've never seen Max Holloway's takedown defense. When will WWE wake up and push Rusev? Hopefully soon, Ross, because this guy is one of the most talented wrestlers since 2014. And it's absolutely ridiculous that this guy right here is just like the most underpushed wrestler. Like I think Rusev, like, honestly, like, him and Cesaro have to be the two dudes in WWE that you just don't understand. Why the fuck are they not pushing them? Like those are the two dudes. You just look at them and you're just like, why aren't you pushing them? Like, why aren't you doing shit with them? Like seriously, like, Rusev got this stupid thing. Like, here's the thing. Rusev got this stupid thing like Rusev Day over. Rusev Day should not be something that's over. It should not be something where, like, Rusev Day, because, like, it was like such a goofy thing that he was saying doing that backstage, and then all of a sudden he just has a good couple promos where Rusev shows his actual character, and it's like, Rusev Day's over. It's like it's legit over. Like, people want to see Rusev. They want to see this guy. They get enjoyment out of Rusev Day. They have fun with this character. Hell, dude, like, I bet you Aiden English, as much as he probably liked his vaudevillain stuff and he had more title success with the vaudevillains, I bet you if we asked Aiden English, are you enjoying this run? I think if you would have told Aiden English about this run, he would not believe you, man. So, yeah, man, I hope they push Rusev Day, man. Rusev always has a personality, straight shooter. It's just WWE just made him like Rusev Fujiya, Rusev Machka. Like, Rusev is just a funny dude. Rusev, honestly, he has one of the best. He's probably the best WWE Twitter guy. Like, when it comes to WWE Twitter, Rusev is just absolutely hilarious, dude. Like, I can't tell you how many times I see a Rusev Twitter thing. It's like the funniest thing ever, man. Like, I'll just laugh my ass off at his Twitter, dude. His Twitter is great, dude. He has a great Twitter. He's always a great follow. Rusev is like the funniest dude on Twitter. It can get him in trouble, but it's funny. Do you think Braun Strowman you made me say his name, Kesha. Do I think Care Bear should go to SmackDown? No, and the reason why is, Kesha, because they focused him a lot on Raw, and I feel like his story should end. He should win the belt on Raw before going to SmackDown, if that makes any sense. I feel like, you know, if you're built up on Raw, like, because, like, I don't feel like there's going to be a point where it's like, oh, there's nothing for him on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always feel like there's going to be something for him. Why are Smarks so hell-bent on WWE firing Road Dogg with the hashtag fire Road Dogg? Because Road Dogg has kind of ruined the show that they've liked in SmackDown, and they've always liked SmackDown, so it is what it is. So, yeah, I guess that's the reason why. I just think Road Dogg has just done a piss poor job at entertaining me as a fan. No, but hopefully, like, I showed people that I'm fair in these debates, and hopefully people know that when I do debates, it's not to bury people. Like, it's not my whole point. I just want to, I just want to, what's it called? I just want to get, like, people's opinions. I just want to know why you think certain things and stuff like that. You know, so hopefully that was a good debate for you guys. Hopefully you sat there and you guys had a good time watching that. After WrestleMania, who would you send to SmackDown and or Raw? Cien Almas to SmackDown, AOP to Raw, because the Raw tag team title scene needs something to inject them, man. You dream of the Lex Man and 9 debate? I would love to debate Alex. I think Alex is a cool dude. Like, he seemed cool last time I talked to him, so I don't know. I would love to see it. I think it'd be fun. Yeah, no, Authors of Pain to Raw, CN to SmackDown. I would love to see Velveteen move up, but like I don't know if that's a little bit too soon for Velveteen. Oh yeah, the Iconic Duo. Let's put those idiots on SmackDown. Let's see. Those idiots. Oh, Sanity to Raw would be pretty solid too. Or Killian Dane to Raw, I should say. Those are, I guess that's a solid lineup, I would say. I think Aquaman should have the title until next year's WrestleMania, where he loses clean and the title at the same time. That'd be fine. The brand split is going to end when WWE goes to Fox in late 2019. I'm going to call it now. I wouldn't be surprised if Fox is like, look, WWE, this is a dumb idea. We need Fox to have all these superstars do what you need to do. So, yeah. WWE on Fox, late 2019. I'm going to call it. That'd be great. I'd love it. WWE on Fox. But we'll get like Kurt Menefee, like every Sunday Night Football, or every Sunday night game on Fox, or like Sunday game on Fox, game of the week. We'll have Troy Aikman back. And don't forget, tomorrow is WWE on Fox. Will Roman Reigns beat Finn Balor in a great main event matchup? And plus, what does Ronda Rousey have to say about the women's title? Find out live on Monday Night Raw. And then Troy Aikman says something like, I don't know why we promote this shit, Joe. Or I'm watching like the World Series and stuff like that. It'll be like, after Game 7, don't forget that tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw. That's the only thing I would be afraid of if WWE's on Fox is baseball. Because baseball will sometimes cut into it, man. That's the one thing I'm always afraid of, man. Like baseball cutting into it stuff. Yeah, but I think they're gonna go do FS1 just to keep it normal. Jay Barton asks, which tag teams do you think they should break, and are there any tag teams you bring back together? Breakout, Shelton Benjamin, and Chad Gable. I don't know what those two fools are. Like, both those two are too individually talented to be doing a tag team together. As for tag teams to bring back together, none really right now. I'm fine with it. Yeah, no, that's the only problem with Fox, man. Like, I'm just, like, afraid. Yeah, dude. Like, I used to hate that, dude, when the USA would have the dog show and be like, Monday Night Raw is not happening on Monday. But it's okay, because it's now a special Thursday edition. What? And it'd be like, no, that means Raw is taped. And so I'm watching, and they would do it. WWE would do it too. It's like, well, it's the UK show, so it doesn't fucking matter. It's like, what the fuck it does. And then Michael Cole would be like, welcome everybody to Monday. Well, not really Monday, but a special Thursday Raw. And it's like, and like the talent, they knew it was Monday, and they didn't even say Thursday and stuff like that. That's like the funniest thing, dude. I bet you, like, I wonder how many kids back in the day, when they didn't know SmackDown was taped, they would go to the Tuesday tapings, and they were saying Friday night or Thursday night SmackDown and stuff like that. They're like, man, dude, why are they calling it Friday night? It's only Tuesday. Like, I wonder if so many kids were so confused about that shit. They're just like, what the fuck, man? Friday, Tuesday. That's when I felt SmackDown went downhill. When they did Friday Night SmackDown, that was bad, dude. Like, what? Why would you put that on a Friday night, dude? Yeah, no, that's the problem, dude. The Fox is like, they'll just do dumb stuff like that. Alright, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning into the stream. It's getting late here in California. I actually got to get some sleep in my life. Remember, guys, just like Brock Lesnar, sometimes y'all don't have to give a shit in life. Thank you guys for enjoying this random Sunday stream. I hope you guys had a good one. Don't forget to pop your collars, raise your hands up in the sky, and say with me as we leave, yo!